Broadcasting from the Main Street Media television studios in Nashville, Tennessee, it's time for Friday Night Live, the best high school football coverage in Middle Tennessee, featuring Tennessee Radio Hall of Famer George Plaster, Zach Womble, and Billy Derrick, and also reporters from Main Street Media. Friday Night Live is presented by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office. Fans, don't let fans drive drunk.
Hello again, everybody. Welcome in to Friday Night Live, week number 2 of the TSSAA High School Football Playoffs. This is where it really starts to get serious.
Oh, yeah.
George Plaster, Zach Womble, raise your hand. Beautiful. And Billy, over at the little boy table. Billy, how you doing over there?
I'm not as good now that you called me the little boy table. So
get over it.
Thanksgiving's around the corner, so he's got to get in season, I guess.
we got to get you a little closer to the mic.
You not hear me okay?
Yeah. Well,
he must not be a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, it must not be a Hall.
Well, it certainly. I mean,
it certainly helps.
Listen, I certainly don't have my own bowling tournament. That's for sure.
You know what? 2 weeks from Monday, we kick that thing off.
You like that softball plug that I just gave you?
Yeah. I appreciate it.
That was a softie.
That was. Yeah. You'll be playing in it, I'm told.
I will be. Will not be the star of the team. That is reserved for Casey Patrick, but we'll certainly be there. We'll certainly scarf down some food, some beverages. So I'm looking forward to it. Whoever is paired up with our team. It's going to be a fun night, laughter. Good times, good fellowship. So really looking forward to it.
Got about 6 foursomes left to get us completely sold out. If you're watching this and you want to get a foursome, you simply email me plastergeorge@gmail.com. It's that simple.
When are you going to get the acronym HOF put into your email?
No, please. Stop.
HOF@gmail.com.
Stop. That's disgusting.
Hall of Famer.
Okay, let's get to business here.
Yeah.
Let's talk about 4 or 5 of the games that really stand out to you tonight.
Go ahead. No,
okay.
Go ahead.
Hold on a second. I don't believe we called on him, did we?
Oh, it's okay. Listen, he's eager. Let him jump to it.
Hey, I'm not a producer. I'm a talent in this
Take
show.
the next 2.5 hours.
That's right. That's right. On this show, he is a talent.
Talent, baby. That's my title here for this show. But George, as we get into the
it's
games,
overrated. I can tell you that.
You got the jokes tonight, don't you?
I do.
Pope Prep at BA. I love this one, Zach, as you do too. You talked about it on the Plaster Show today. Kenny Minchie's back.
Yeah,
and that is a great news. That is a great sign. Great news for Pope Prep fans everywhere. He's facing off with a pretty good one on the other side too, George McIntyre. So these are 2 highly rated guys. If McIntyre, I look at this game as the game for McIntyre to really prove himself in the playoffs.
Sure.
Because he's proven himself in the regular season.
Yep.
But if this kid is able to go toe-to-toe with Minchie and defeat Pope Prep, that would be massive. I mean, that'd be massive for his reputation, his credibility. So I love that one. And you can't talk about tonight without talking about White County and Nolensville.
Yeah.
Nolensville is the surprise of the state, I think. I mean, they're undefeated, 11-0. Chance Fitzgerald is one of the better receivers in the country, I think, at this point. I mean, we're past just saying he's one of the best in the state. He's probably the best. He surpassed 1,000 receiving yards last week in their win over Wilson Central. It gets a little bit tougher, though. White County's got a really good running back in Malachi Dowell. So a lot of talent on the field at a lot of different games tonight, but a lot of talent in that one in specific. So I like White County, Nolensville as well. And then McCallie Ensworth as well. So these are where you really get some big dog matchups with a lot of talent.
Okay, let's stop there for a minute. Of those 3 games, which one is likeliest to produce the upset?
I mean, I think I'll stay with what I was going to say earlier, which is there's no upsets at this point.
Yeah, but there are. There absolutely
Well,
are.
in technicality with the seeding, I would say White County.
Yeah.
Even though, like you said, Zach, I don't know that you could
White
call
County's 9-2. I mean, so it's like
right.
That it's when I think of upset, I think of a team that's
they're
under
all
500.
they're all good football teams.
Yeah.
And so the degree of how big an upset is it?
Sure. I guess I'm being a little bit too anal on that, I think maybe. But when I think of the word upset, I think of, like I said, teams that are around 500, maybe below 500, that beat a team that's won 80% of their games. You're looking at matchups right now where, like I said, White County, who's the 3 seed going to Nolensville, who's undefeated. They've won 9 games this year. Their running back is close to 2,000 yards. And so, I mean, I think you see those types of teams littered across the state tonight. Yes, in the first round, you do see some 1-win teams, 2-win teams, 3-win teams. I mean, Trousdale County was in the playoffs last week, for goodness sake. They were 2-8. And so, yeah, you do see that in the first round, but I think the playoffs have a good way of working through itself and kind of putting the best teams forward. But
yeah, round 2 is where the rubber starts to meet the road.
Yeah. I would say, though, a potential upset, just like record wise, Friendship Christian's undefeated. They're 10-0.
Yeah.
They're bringing in a DCA team that has been,
Yeah.
Sort of upset minded this year. They've been up and down. They're 7-4. So I think if you get deep into the weeds of an actual upset, that would be an actual upset.
Yeah, absolutely. Because Friendship Christian beat them senseless in the regular season.
Right.
I think, I want to say it was in the 50s, and I'll have to double check when we go off the air. But you're right. That's probably, you know what, George, he's probably right. That's probably the best upset pick of the night, because they've already played once this year, and Friendship Christian just absolutely boat raced them.
Yeah, in most of these matchups, I wouldn't be surprised either way who wins.
Yeah.
Pope Prep, Brentwood Academy. I wouldn't be surprised if either of those teams won. White County, Nolensville, McCallie, Innsworth, Page, Mount Juliet.
Yep.
So there's games like this, Smyrna Beach. All those games, I wouldn't be surprised if either team won.
Yeah,
absolutely.
absolutely.
Yeah, you have, the favorites, the home teams probably have an advantage, but this isn't college or the NFL where there's such a huge home advantage.
Sure. Absolutely.
Obviously a team like Nolensville, great atmosphere, but I don't know that counts as 6 points or anything like that.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the same way. So there just aren't as many advantages as home field advantages in high school as there are in the college and pro game. But yeah, for most of these games, I wouldn't be surprised if it went either way.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, you're right. You're exactly right. Clarksville, Cane Ridge should be a really good game too. Clarksville 8-3, Cane Ridge 10-1. We've talked about Cane Ridge all season long of being kind of that team to carry the torch for Metro Nashville football. East Nashville still in it. Pearl Cone still in it. So a couple chances for Metro also to kind of flex his muscle a little bit tonight.
Yeah,
which of the two you think has the best shot?
Good question. Clarksville is a different football team this last month of the season. And so I think prior to kind of this kind of uptick for Clarksville, I would say Cane Ridge was kind of the shoe-in for there. I think it's a little bit more difficult now, but I think all things considered, East Nashville having to go to Waverly. Waverly's really good. Tough trip. I would say Cane Ridge probably still stands the best chance of the three. I'm drawing a blank on who Pearl Cone plays tonight, which is bothering me. But either way, I think Cane Ridge stands the best chance of moving on, because I think they're a really good football team. Siobhan Abudallah, their quarterback, punter, receiver, kicker, kind of do it all, man.
Super Bowl tickets winner.
Yeah, Mose Phillips the third. I mean, they've really got some weapons on that team. And so I think a lot of people are kind of projecting Beach and Cane Ridge to meet in the quarterfinals.
Yep. Since that loss to Father Ryan by Cane Ridge, they've dominated.
Man, which that is still head scratching to me. No disrespect to Father Ryan, but
I'm with you. I mean, you look at it now, that's a good win for Father Ryan.
A great win.
You look at it now for Cane Ridge, if they win that one, they could be sitting at 11-0 now. So, but ever since that game, they've rolled up opponents by a combined 245 to 67. Credit Tyler Palmatier for that stat. So it's similar to an Oregon type team this year, where you get dominated, by Georgia, but you've dominated ever since that game. And that's what Cane Ridge has done. Zach, a game we haven't mentioned yet, Blackman at Coffee County.
Yeah.
I love that matchup.
Yeah, that's gonna be a good one.
Yeah, in Class 6A, I think Coffee County is a team that could end up making a deep run, but they got to beat Blackman first. You got to get by the Blaze, who have traditionally been really good in the playoffs. So there's some matchups like this where you don't see games like this in the regular season. You don't see Blackman and Coffee County play.
That's right.
In the regular season. You don't see East Nashville and Waverly. You don't see Clarksville, Cane Ridge. So I like that when you start getting deeper into the playoffs where you see teams that, they haven't seen their opponent yet.
It also makes it a lot harder to handicap because you really don't know what it is you're getting because there's nothing in past history to base it on.
No, you can't throw the film on from the year. I mean, you can throw their film on against other teams, but you really have, like you said, George, you don't have any idea or clue really how to match up with them because you haven't seen them. Yep. So it's an added element for coaches. Everything gets tougher. It gets tougher for players. You've played at this point, what, Zach, 12 games?
Yeah, 12, 13 games.
For most teams.
Yep.
So that's tough on players, tough on coaches to continue to scheme and prepare their guys. So tougher for everybody, especially if you got to travel. I think that's for teams that have to travel like in East Nashville to Waverly.
McCauley to Innsworth.
Yeah, and even Clarksville over to Cane Ridge. I mean, there's some traveling matchups where you look at and you say maybe the home team does have a slight advantage there.
Let me ask you this. Not that it should be a huge factor. Any games tonight where the rain that we had earlier turns a field into a quagmire?
I don't think so because, I mean, it hasn't rained in Nashville probably since 10 o'clock this morning. So, I mean, plenty of time. Now, we did get a ton of rain. We got
lucky on that.
We did get lucky, but we did get a ton of rain overnight. There was a lot of puddles out there this morning driving. I remember I can't remember which intersection it was, but they had one lane closed down because it was underwater. So, I mean, we got plenty of water last night. But for the most part, I think it's been a long time since it last rained. And a lot of these schools have fake grass. So, the rain isn't going to affect it, like Brentwood Academy, Pope Prep, Nolensville, right? Mount Juliet may be a little different. They've got natural grass. We'll ask Ivan, who's supposed to call in any minute now, who's at Page Mount Juliet. We'll ask him how the field's doing there. So we'll see.
Another field to keep an eye on is Innsworth. They have a very nice natural grass surface, but maybe the rain piles up a little bit. Maybe that makes an impact on that game.
Sure.
So, but Zach, you did mention Ivan Aronin. He is coming up. But first, we'll get to Brady McAtamney after the break. So, we got a couple calls coming in after the break.
Awesome. Okay, we'll get you ready for week number 2 of the playoffs in the state of Tennessee. You're watching Friday Night Live on Main Street Media Television.
It was just a few drinks. I'm good. I thought it was good.
After every game, we always have a few. It's no big deal. It was no big deal.
Hey, I can hold my liquor. I thought I could hold my liquor.
For Dustin Timmons and Joey Donnelly, they welcome every opportunity to serve and satisfy their clients. Whether you are looking to build your dream home or renovate your current home, their team will ensure that every client and remodel is unique, luxurious, completed on time, and within budget. Contact them today to set an appointment for a free consultation or to view some of their completed projects by logging on to DonnellyTimmons.com.
Jody Jones Dentistry can handle all your dental needs, from the basics to cosmetic procedures. All of this in the nicest dental facility I have ever seen. Jody has done it right. They're located conveniently at 55 Music Square East, and for an appointment, it's simple. Dial 615-259-5100 and tell them Plaz sent you. When you're thinking about golf, consider Riverside Golf Links. Under new ownership, the course has improved dramatically. It's now 27 holes, complemented by a 9-hole executive course. Book a tee time now at 615-847-5074 and get ready to enjoy the beauty of golf in the Old Hickory area at Riverside Golf Links.
This is attorney Bart Durham, and this is me. I'm Aaliyah. Keeping in good physical condition is really important to me. But when I had a wreck with a tractor-trailer truck that hurt my legs so bad I couldn't work for almost a year, I knew I needed a lawyer that understood tractor-trailer cases. So I called Bart. Bart gets millions of dollars for his clients every year.
At Bart Durham Injury Law, we've handled hundreds of tractor-trailer cases.
My dad and I want to help. Give us a call at 615-242-9000.
Welcome back into Friday Night Live. This is week number 2 of the high school football playoffs in the state of Tennessee. George Plaster, Zach Womble, Billy Derrick alongside, and Brady Mack with our first report of the night. He's covering Clarksville at Cane Ridge. Brady, how are you?
Doing great, George. Happy to be out for the playoffs again, and I'm happy that it's not raining and it's not 40 degrees.
But I'll say this, it's a little cooler than it was about 2 hours ago. I did notice that.
Yeah, the temperature did drop a little bit, but last time I was at Cane Ridge last year, they had the heaters out. I'll say that, and I was trying to be near them as much as possible.
So what do you expect tonight?
I'm expecting a really good game, a really hard-fought game. These are two teams that are both playing really good football right now. Cane Ridge, obviously one of the top teams in the state, but Clarksville has been playing their absolute best football lately. And of course, Clarksville knocked Cane Ridge out in the playoff last year. So that's just a little extra motivation for the Ravens who want to avenge that loss.
Revenge game, as you mentioned, have both teams been talking that, or is mum's the word?
So I was talking to Clarksville last week after their 47-14 win over Overton. They are not. They don't really have a big time motivation like Cane Ridge does. They're kind of just coming out, taking this game like it's a normal game. That's kind of the Isaac Shelby thing. He wants to play every game like it's a regular season game, a regular year run of the mill game. As far as Cane Ridge goes, I mean it's revenge. It's all about revenge in this game.
Brady, I think everybody knows for Clarksville to be successful, Jamar Carnell has to get going. So what do you expect from Clarksville Senior tonight as they go into this matchup against Cane Ridge?
He had a pretty good game last year, and that's when he was playing quarterback because they didn't have a quarterback last year. They have one this year, so he actually gets to take handoffs instead of, kind of playing an all-time Wildcat as they kind of did last year. So that automatically makes Clarksville better. They also have a couple more running options this year. They had Jamari Cobbs out for the season last year, Davin Geringer out for the season last year. Those guys are both back. Geringer being the quarterback who can run it well. They've got, by my count, 6 different guys who can really rip off a big run at any time. And Carnell obviously being one of those guys. And he kind of has that Derrick Henry style of running where he kind of just wears you down as the game goes along. So, he can sometimes start off slow. But as the game goes on, that defense just gets exhausted trying to tackle a big guy like Carnell. And I think he can definitely be a good difference maker, especially in the second half.
Brady, since Clarksville's lost to Beach on September 16th, they've been a completely different team. I mean, they've won 6 in a row. They've averaged a lot of points while doing so. I'm curious, what have you found out has changed for that team since that 38-7 loss against Beach?
Yeah, seeing Clarksville get better as the season goes on isn't necessarily a new thing. That's something that I've seen from them all along. But I think they're running the ball better. They're playing much better defense. They're not really letting big plays happen like they did against Beach as often. Their teams can still get big plays on them. Overton had 2 of them last week. But that's just the thing. They only had 2. Against Springfield, against Beach, against McGavick, they allowed a lot of big plays, and that kind of crippled them. It's hard to get your spirits right when you know that a team could break off a big play at any time. So I think they're just playing with more confidence. I think the offense has gotten settled down a little bit more. They're not turning the ball over almost at all, and that's obviously a huge thing as well.
Brady, you look at this Cane Ridge defense, the last 3 weeks, they have not given up a single point. They've won 41-0, 42-0, 48-0. How does this Clarksville team penetrate this, immovable defense.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's going to be about the run game. If they can open up the run game, that might even allow them to throw the ball a little bit. Devin Gallagher, a good quarterback. They've got some good receiving threats, especially Robert Riley. I think if they can get them to respect the run game, have some early success with the run game, that's going to open up a whole lot of things for Clarksville.
Brady, one more here for you. When's the last time Clarksville played at Cane Ridge? Not just for a playoff game, but for a regular season game. Has this happened very often? Do you know the history of this matchup of Clarksville making the trip over to Cane Ridge?
Last year, like we were saying, this is a revenge game for Cane Ridge. They played here at Cane Ridge last year, and Clarksville beat them. So this is fresh in the mind of both of these teams.
Gotcha. Not quick answer from Brady. He's on top of it.
Oh, he's in postseason form.
Yeah, this is not even midseason form. He's ready and raring to go.
Brady, we're in postseason. Keep us updated when this thing starts at 7.
You bet, guys.
Brady Mack reporting live from Clarksville and Cane Ridge. And I know Ivan Aronin is close to being in the on-deck circle. He is covering Page and Mount Juliet tonight. Those are two of the big games that we'll be keeping tabs on.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm looking forward to hearing from Ivan. I mean, that region, that matchup with Page and Mount Juliet could produce the team that makes the run to Chattanooga. And speaking of which, Ivan joins us now.
Hey, how you doing tonight, guys?
Good, Ivan. How you doing?
A little bit chilly here in Mount Juliet, but I think we'll make it through the night.
So you've noticed the temp has dropped a little in the last 2 hours.
Well, if I had my druthers, I'll take a little bit cooler tonight over rain.
Amen to that.
It's in my contract. I don't cover games when it's raining.
I like that. That's good thinking. So Zach was mentioning that one of these two teams, the winner tonight, has got a real shot to go deep. Do you buy that?
The other game on the bracket, other side of the bracket, I don't know if you mentioned, White County is playing at Nolensville tonight.
Right.
And that's going to be an excellent game. I would agree with them. I think any of the four teams could go deep, especially given the offenses that all four have.
Ivan, we were talking earlier about the weather that had come in last night with the rain, and George was asking how he thought it would mess with the playing surfaces. And a lot of teams, a lot of schools have fake grass, but not at Mount Juliet. They feature an all-natural playing surface. So I'm just curious, how does that playing surface look tonight?
The field is actually in outstanding shape. I covered a playoff game here about 4 or 5 years ago that it had rained all day Friday. And from about the 20-yard line to the end zone, you couldn't step without your foot sinking into the mud. And I think that I'm almost certain that cost Mount Juliet the game because they had an even better running attack at that time than they do now. And I think after that, they raised a lot of money for a drainage system and did a lot of work on the field. And it looks in excellent condition tonight.
Ivan, you've gotten to know this Mount Juliet team well over the course of this football season. It's obviously been well documented that their loss to Lebanon was really tough. I mean, 27-6, never felt like they were in it. But ever since then, they've really kind of been on a tear. And yeah, you can look at the teams that they played, but you know what? You can only play who's in front of you, and they've absolutely taken care of business. What has changed for this Golden Bears team since that October 6th meeting with Lebanon?
I think their defense has gotten much better. I think that was a wake-up call for their defense. They're giving up an average in the last 4 games that they won since the Lebanon game. They're giving up 10 points a game, and with their offense, especially their running game, they should be able to win a game by giving up only 10 points.
Ivan, one more here for you to close it out. Page has been really an up-and-down team this year. I mean, they obviously had that tight battle with Nolensville. Nolensville's a team that is 11-0 right now, so they've had a tough schedule. But what can we expect realistically for them tonight in a game that if they're able to win, they're able to move on and keep playing?
I think their offense is going to be key. Their quarterback, has been playing with a little banged up the last few weeks. But Coach Rathbun said earlier this week that he's pretty much back at full strength. So they may open him up a little bit more. He had against Green Hill last week. He ran for a touchdown, had some very good passing stats. I think he was 12-14. So they, if he's fully healthy, Colin Hurd, they will definitely try to open him up a little bit more and test the Mount Juliet defense.
Ivan, appreciate the update as always. Obviously, when this starts at 7 o'clock, let us know what's going on because I have a feeling you got a great one to cover.
Sure. All right, y'all take care. We'll talk to you later.
Ivan Aronin reporting live from Page at Mount Juliet. Who wins?
Ooh, great question. Oh, goodness. Can I flip a quarter? I'm just going to go with the hometown Mount Juliet Golden Bears because, hey, I'm a Mount Juliet boy at the end of the day, so might as well roll with the team out of Wilson County.
Yeah, I would agree. I think Mount Juliet, I've seen enough from them this year, and you know, they've got enough talent. I know Ethan Crisp is not healthy this year. Well, he is healthy, but he's not playing for them, not dressing. So I would take Mount Juliet as well.
Well, those are two of the games that the Clarksville Cane Ridge game. Those are two we're going to keep our eyes on very closely tonight. Okay, in the interview world, what do we got for them?
Well, before we do this, I know Mo is going to call in soon. He's supposed to call in around 6:30. He's at Mount Pleasant Riverside. That's a really big game. But after he calls in, after we talk to him, we've got a little bit of time before our next call in, which was supposed to be Brady at 7:10. So I think we'll get Casey in after that. But I think if Mo calls in the next couple minutes, we get Mo in. We're able to talk about his game. I think we could go immediately to that interview after Mo's call. But until then, I don't want to jump into an interview, have Mo call.
Yeah, little four-corner stall here.
Yeah, exactly. As they say in the business, filibuster.
Well, they also say in the business in baseball, time only has been called.
Yeah, so
the tarp is on the field. Time only has been called.
Time only has been called.
Remember that.
Time on the field.
Are y'all watching what I'm watching here on television?
Yourself?
No, the Armed Forces Classic
is
on tonight.
Yeah, I've had here and there looking at. I mean, Gonzaga doesn't really grab my attention. This matchup doesn't really grab my attention. I mean, is it on a boat? Is that okay? So that's the cool thing that they're playing on a boat.
Aircraft carrier.
Sorry, aircraft carrier. But yeah, sorry.
Wow, bad attitude.
A little snarky.
No, but in reality, this matchup doesn't really grab my attention. But then again, it's November. I mean, college basketball is kind of like
you and I are on the same hymnal.
Yeah.
College basketball has started 2 to 3 weeks too early.
Yeah.
And I think it's unfortunate. This is a big game. These are two national powers talking about Michigan State and Gonzaga. But in November, it's too early.
I agree 1,000%. I mean, I'm of the belief that I don't think we should start college or pro basketball season until after Christmas. I mean, I think about how great it would be if you had on Christmas Day, you're able to just own that day with NBA and college basketball tipping off, and you started at midnight, call it a little midnight Santa Madness or something like that. And just, I just think college basketball starts way too early these days. And in reality, come February, we're going to completely forget about this game.
Well, the thing that college basketball has been using as the excuse is that CBS does not want the NCAA tournament to go into April because of their coverage of the Masters. And I just don't think that's a good enough reason to allow about a month and a half of college basketball. I'm a college hoops fan, but I'm not in November when football is still hot and heavy.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's just, when we came in tonight, we put this on the tube. And listen, basketball is my favorite sport. But my first question was, why isn't there a football game on? Because it's November. I mean, we haven't even reached Thanksgiving, and we've got teams playing meaningful games that's going to be used against them or for them in about 5 months. And so it just, again, like you said, a little too early for me. But you know what? I guess the more sports, the better.
By the way, in a game going on in our city, in the early going. Bit of a surprise. Vandy was a huge favorite going into tonight, but Southern Miss leads them. The latest I had was 18-13 about midway through the first half. Vandy got clobbered by Memphis Monday night. This is not a good sign at all.
I know we don't like to overreact to what happens really early in a college basketball season, but I think Memphis was a game. Vanderbilt was a 2-point underdog, and they got dominated that entire game. And now
they really were never in it.
And now, you've really struggled here early on against Southern Miss, and you don't look great again. So I don't know.
23-19 Southern Miss, 4 minutes left first half.
Can I ask you a question about Jerry Stackhouse? There was a lot of his first season was 2020, right? Is that correct?
This is his fourth year.
Yes, his first year was the COVID year. Yeah.
Okay, so can you count that year? I would say maybe not,
especially after what he was handed with Bryce Drew, the remnants of that.
Maybe not. And so, but I remember thinking there was some positive momentum for Vanderbilt basketball last year. Is that right?
Yeah,
down the stretch.
It's Scottie Pippen Jr.
It was Scottie Pippen momentum.
Okay, so I guess my question is, the poor performance against Memphis is obviously something that you don't want to see. And then tonight's showing, is there any scenario in which Stackhouse does not make it through this season?
No, he just got a contract.
He just got extended,
okay.
and he's recruited too well. I think they've got a top 25 class for next year, but it's just I don't know.
I know they signed Isaiah West out of Good Pasture.
Yeah,
that was a big signing for them.
Yeah, the recruiting is helping them a lot, but they're young. They're not, I don't think they're ready to make a tournament yet, at least from what I've seen this year.
My point was, if the reports were accurate, he got a 6-year contract to begin with that he did not deserve.
Yeah, I missed that.
When Malcolm Turner gave it to him. So he's got more of a pad than most coaches. I don't know what the rush was to extend him. It's not as though anybody was after him.
Yeah, that's a great point. I mean, it's not like he was, setting the world on fire at Vandy. And so I missed the extension. I'm not too close to that whole university to see that. But I mean, that's
nobody's after Stackhouse, but you know who we're after? We're after Mo Padden. And we found him.
Nice.
So he's got Mount Pleasant at Riverside?
Yes.
Where is Riverside?
That's in Decatur County. That's in Parsons, Tennessee, right, Mo?
It is in Parsons, Tennessee, but I'm not. The game is actually here at Mount Pleasant. So,
well, that does make a difference.
It makes a huge difference.
Mo, I don't think
you don't have to cross the river, man.
Yeah, I don't think
it's big.
I don't think you would be there if it was in Parsons.
Well, actually, I probably would, just because Mount Pleasant is the last team standing in our coverage area. So I probably would have.
Okay,
down there.
You would have made.
Hated. I would hate to have gone across the river 2 weeks in a row after having gone to Jackson last week, especially the way that one turned out.
But, hey, you could have called my uncle. He's got a pontoon. He could have helped you across the river.
Okay, well, good. That's good to know. I'll keep that in mind going forward.
I love it. Well, Mo, what can we expect in this one? Obviously, you've seen a lot of Mount Pleasant this year. Riverside is a team that has played really well. They got to go on the road. They've played well at home. But for Mount Pleasant tonight, how big is this game for them?
Oh, this game is huge for Mount Pleasant. I think it's the first time they've hosted this deep into the playoffs in more than 20 years. So, I mean, this is a great team that they've been able to put together coming off of a really tough year last year, had a lot of injuries in Kid Hartsfield's first season. They've been able to, for the most part, stay healthy. The noted exception being their Southeast Missouri State commit, DeMarcus Brown, who suffered a knee injury in like week 3, I think it was, and has missed the rest of the year. He's a defensive back, wide receiver, and he's really dynamic on both sides of the ball. And as good as they have been without him, he would have been certainly a key guy to have around as the Mount Pleasant marching band is coming onto the field and coming right by me. So I'm trying to get someplace a little quieter. But Mount Pleasant defensively in particular has played really well this year. They had a 41-0 win last week over Scotts Hill to open playoff action, which means they've outscored Scotts Hill 84-0 in 2 games because they beat them 43-0 in week 2. So Scotts Hill's glad to not have to see Mount Pleasant anymore. But they pitched shutouts in their last 3 games. Mount Pleasant have. They have 4 shutouts on the season. They have held 6 opponents to fewer than 10 points. So defense is really where they hang their hat, and they're going to need it tonight because this Riverside team beat Loretto 56-31 last week, rolled up 562 offensive yards. They've got a junior running back, Desmond Thomas, who went for 291 and 5. So they know who he is. They know where he is.
And also,
the key is,
also, Mo, when you throw out that number 560, that's in a 48-minute game, not a 60-minute college game.
Exactly. Yeah. So they were getting up and down the field quite a bit, and Mount Pleasant's challenge obviously is going to be to try to slow that down. And in part, that's going to be their defense, but in part, it's going to be their offense keeping Riverside on the sideline as well. And I think they've got the ability to do that. They've got some speed on the edge. They've got one kid in particular, Darian Meza, who has 3 return touchdowns this season. Had a 45-yard punt return last week for a score. They've got some speed on the outside. Their quarterback, Nick Brown, throws it around pretty well. And if they can keep Riverside off the field offensively and then slow down Thomas when they're on the field on defense, they got a shot to get out of here with arguably the program's biggest win in about 20 years.
Mo, you've answered a lot of my questions that I wanted to ask you. Some really good stuff. So I want to pivot to this, Mo. You mentioned the atmosphere tonight at Mount Pleasant. Super excited to host this playoff game. Win or lose, though, this is their last home game of the season. It says on the TSSAA bracket they've got to travel if they win next week, and they'll have to travel for the semifinal game. So knowing that fact, do you think that gives them any extra juice tonight, knowing that this is their last ride on that home football field?
I would think that the last thing that Kid Hartsfield is going to say to them, they are in the locker room right now. We are about 20 minutes to kickoff. And I would like to think that the last thing he's going to say to them before they come out is, you're going out on this field for 48 minutes. It's the last 48 minutes you're going to be on this field. Either way, let's make it count.
Woo! Got goosebumps, Mo.
Yeah. And I would imagine they will as well. This is going to be a good ball game. These home stands are starting to fill in. The visiting stands are already filled in, and these folks have come from a long way off. So it's going to be a good ball game. Looking forward to it.
Mo, that was a hell of a pep talk you gave.
Yeah.
I do what I can.
Put him in the locker room. Put him in the locker room.
Man's multi-talented, and he's a Braves fan.
Yeah, well, I wish I could have given that pep talk about a month or so ago.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how much good it would have done then either. So, we'll see.
Just remember, Justin Verlander would look good in that uniform.
Man, don't get my hopes up, man. Don't threaten me with a good time.
I hear you. Shoot. Mo, listen, take care tonight. Keep us updated on what's going on.
Sounds good, guys. Appreciate y'all.
That's the Hall of Famer Maurice Patton reporting from Mount Pleasant. Riverside is the opponent. Now, Billy, do we go to a break at this point?
We certainly can. And coming up, we can finish off this hour with Cane Ridge head coach Woods. So we can finish it off with that.
Okay, we're about 18 to 20 minutes away from the start of most of the games in the Middle Tennessee area. So get ready. It's week number 2 of the high school playoffs. This is Friday Night Live on Main Street Media Television.
It's just a few cocktails at happy hour.
It's just a few cocktails at happy hour.
You really good try. There aren't any cops around.
I didn't think there were any cops around.
I drink and drive all the time.
Sir, you've been in a serious crash. I want you to hang on, okay? Cover your name, sir. Where you are right now? Now.
For Dustin Timmons and Joey Donnelly, they welcome every opportunity to serve and satisfy their clients. Whether you are looking to build your dream home or renovate your current home, their team will ensure that every client and remodel is unique, luxurious, completed on time, and within budget. Contact them today to set an appointment for a free consultation or to view some of their completed projects by logging on to DonnellyTimmons.com.
Jody Jones Dentistry can handle all your dental needs, from the basics to cosmetic procedures. All of this in the nicest dental facility I have ever seen. Jody has done it right. They're located conveniently at 55 Music Square East, and for an appointment, it's simple. Dial 615-259-5100 and tell them Plaz sent you. When you're thinking about golf, consider Riverside Golf Links. Under new ownership, the course has improved dramatically. It's now 27 holes, complemented by a 9-hole executive course. Book a tee time now at 615-847-5074 and get ready to enjoy the beauty of golf in the Old Hickory area at Riverside Golf Links.
This is attorney Bart Durham, and this is me. I'm Aaliyah. Keeping in good physical condition is really important to me. But when I had a wreck with a tractor trailer truck that hurt my legs so bad I couldn't work for almost a year, I knew I needed a lawyer that understood tractor trailer cases. So I called Bart. Bart gets millions of dollars for his clients every year.
At Bart Durham Injury Law, we've handled hundreds of tractor trailer cases.
My dad and I want to help. Give us a call at 615-242-9000.
We are back, and this is an exciting night. Round one, oftentimes you get some mismatches on the high school level. Round two, this stuff starts to even out. And I think tonight we've got, as these guys have brought up, 8 or 10 matchups that are really worth talking about. One of those involves Cane Ridge tonight, trying to represent Metro as best as they can. And with all of that in mind, earlier this week, Main Street Media caught up with Coach Eddie Woods.
Coach Eddie Woods now, like I said, his team is riding high, rolling into the second round of the playoffs. Eddie, how you doing this morning? Or this afternoon, I should say.
I'm doing well. How about you guys?
Great. Doing great, Eddie.
Doing well. Thanks for being here. And let's start with that 48-0 win over Gallatin last week, Eddie. Did you guys think there was a chance the score would end up being that lopsided?
We not really, but at the same time, it does surprise me. You know, we've been at this process for a long time. We lost the first round last year. We were pissed off, and we knew we wanted to come back and make a statement win that first round of the playoffs. And you know, surviving is the most important thing, but doesn't hurt to win in that fashion.
Well, Eddie, you kind of this is Tyler. You sort of answered my question about how much motivation is kind of being drawn from the first round exits, but I'm going to kind of pivot to something. How you guys have a lot of seniors, and not just that, but a lot of them in key positions. When you look at the season, the 11-1 record, just when you look at it on paper, it looks so nice. How much of this is attributed to overall experience?
Well, overall experience is always good, and I tell my guys all the time, it doesn't mean anything if you don't put the work in. And these guys have been putting the work in for the last couple of years. Last year was the we had the full off season and everything that comes along with the off season in Metro. So we're excited about the opportunity we have in front of us. The things we're just taking it one day at a time, and they're just trying to keep surviving every week. But we do have a couple of sophomores and juniors that's contributed big as well that we're excited about.
And one of those key seniors is Siobhan Abdullah, who, by the way, if anybody missed it, just won a couple of Super Bowl tickets a few weeks ago on the Titans broadcast. That was pretty awesome to see the presentation there with Roger Goodell and everything. That was really cool.
Everything's coming up good for Siobhan Abdullah this year.
Yeah, this has been a memorable fall.
Great senior year.
Yeah, definitely a time he's going to remember. But for Eddie, for you guys, he does everything. He's a quarterback, a kicker, a punter. How important has his continued development been to your team's overall success this year?
Man, it's extremely important. That guy's put a lot of work in. He's taking a lot of heat from me because I know that position had to get better from last year, and he responded to it very well. He's matured each game. I know if you watch each game, from a quarterback standpoint, he's matured each game, and we really need that going to the playoffs. But he's such a clutch kicker, man, and I think he's accurate from 35 to 40 yards out from hash to hash, which is big for us as well. And, he can punt too. He can do everything. But, we talk about roles and being of service, man. We took all of, the eye stuff out, recruiting and all those things. That's great. But, we want to just talk about serving and giving what we have to the program, whether it's a big role, small role, whatever. And they just been buying into that mantra. That's what we've been riding on all year.
Mose Phillips III. Offense and defense, a guy that can really do both well. He recently picked up a Power 5 offer from Virginia. I know he's been he's been pretty patient for that Power 5 offer in this recruiting process. Eddie, can you explain where he's improved since last year?
Everywhere. His reaction. The game is slower to him because he's been playing for 3 years now. So that's a given, and that's true for most of our seniors, like Reg Goodlow and the rest of Byron Davis, the rest of those guys as well. But he's extremely hard work. He's at an old school work ethic, man. He works his butt off. He's already a cerebral kid, and he's come more and more smart at the game. So he kind of sees it, before it happens, and that's where he's really improved with his instincts, just being instinctive and not being too smart sometimes. It's like smart guys, they'll play slower, but he's really picked it up in that area.
And your defense is coming off of 3 straight shutouts now and is only allowing about 13 points per game for the season. I'm curious, is there something about that group that's intimidating, that's made life difficult for opponents, or where is that competitive advantage coming for you guys on the defensive side?
Well, first and foremost, Moses' dad, most of the year. He's a defense coordinator, and he's put a lot of work in with those guys. Really challenging because we had, and like I said, on their defense, and they just got back to their hard-nosed Cambridge way. We not all the flash stuff. We're gonna line up. We're gonna hit you. And that started last November when we started the weight room. We got to work right away. We at the end of last year, and what comes along with the weight room, we just want to be physical. We want to make sure people understand that we're going to be also going to buy into the X and O part of it, be disciplined. I think the discipline, we've had some busts here and there, but as people, but we're going to be physical. That's one thing we pride ourselves on.
You mentioned him earlier, Eddie, Byron Davis. You have several guys who can stretch the field, and he's really one of them that, I don't know, seems maybe like somebody that's just not getting a ton of recognition, or maybe just hasn't put up massive numbers. But what's it mean to your guys to, when you look at him, to have there's a lot of speed on that team. I mean, where does Byron rank in terms of fastest?
Ooh, he's probably fast on the team, I would say, for sure. Such a strong kid, but our skilled guys, it's mandatory they run track. So they're no strangers to, working on speed and increasing speed over the off season. It's mandatory those guys do that. So he just, he's extremely hard worker as well. I think by Mose being the worker he is, it's kind of rubbed off on all the other guys as well, and they see the aftermath of it. But I want to address one thing. I don't understand. We put our kids out a whole lot. I don't know why it's so slow in the recognition for him, but that obviously he plays a hell of a corner. He plays nickel. He plays slot. He plays in the backfield. He can even play on the outside because he's fast, he's compact, strong. But I don't understand the recognition of it. A lot of things I don't really, agree with on the recruit. All about stars and things like that. Nobody, in my opinion, really truly evaluate kids. And if you like about who else likes the kid. I think it's just crazy. But, I told him to keep the faith and keep pushing. He's starting to keep up here, and God's going to put him where he needs to be, and he understands that.
So this Friday is the rematch with Clarksville in the second round here. And, of course, like you said, you guys were pretty upset after losing last year. What does it mean to your guys to have this chance against the team that put you out of the playoffs last year?
Well, obviously, it's an opportunity for us to go out and, kids, obviously somebody put you out. There's going to be motivation for anybody. But the more important thing is we don't go out early and we die hard. We didn't do that last year. Went out early, we didn't really die hard. We kind of gave that game away. But we're back to that mindset. We're just excited to be able to advance to the second round and hopefully we can advance to the third round. But I'll be lying to you if I want to about the game.
That maybe you guys can have maybe a picture of Bruce Willis that you can slap before you go out of the locker room every day. Last thing, Eddie, and we're going to get you out of here. Going to put you on the spot a little bit. Who's the best player your team has faced this season and why?
Ooh, got a lot of them. Let's see. Now, I'll tell you this. The kid from CFA is good as advertised. The kid, the receiver that's coming to Vanderbilt. I can't remember his name.
Who's he playing for? Junior Cheryl.
CPA.
London Humphreys.
London Humphreys, yeah.
Humphreys. I'm so sorry. I apologize. I know that kid very well.
We know you guys just sit there and look at. I mean, sometimes coaches just look at numbers. I mean, there's coaches that just know their own players by numbers. But I mean, what was it about London? What was it about London, Eddie? Speed or what?
It was a speed, but the route running ability. We got guys that can cover, and we ran man a couple of times. He made us pay. In the zones, he knows how to get in zones. He knows how to find zones and run down the scene. It's certain little small things you do to if you know if a kid's really taught, and that kid's been taught well, and that don't surprise me. He was a hell of a coach, but he is fast, and I seen him run the state track meet last year, if I'm not mistaken. And some guys have track speed and football speed. He has both, but he's really, really good. He really impressed me. The tight end they had was really good too. But I mean, even the guy at Smyrna, Ariel Carr does that. He's trying to do it all for him, but he is tough and he's good too, especially linebacker, man. He's really physical. So we play against a few guys this year.
That's a good list.
Yeah, it is.
Well, Eddie, thanks for taking some time for us today, and congratulations on all the success you guys have had so far, and best of luck here in the second round. We're going to be watching that Clarksville game with a lot of intrigue.
Okay, we really appreciate it, guys. We appreciate you guys.
You bet.
All right, that's been Cane Ridge football coach Eddie Woods. I believe we're gonna have Brady McIntyre covering that game on Friday. Should be a fun one out there in Antioch. And before we get to our takeaways and our picks for the second round, we are gonna go ahead and take a quick break. So we'll see you in just a second.
It was just a few drinks. I'm good.
No commercial yet.
we have a little misfire?
We were going to act out the commercial.
No,
we were going to act out that's the new
inappropriate.
Yeah.
So Billy, Southern Miss leads Vandy at the half, 29-25 at Memorial Gym.
Yeah, Vandy looks not great.
No.
Not a lot of offense.
Vandy was a 16.5-point favorite.
Which shocks me. I don't know what Vegas saw in that one. But, George, I still think they're a year away from making the tournament. I'll keep saying that unless something crazy happens. Because this is a lot of the same stuff that happened against Memphis. So, not looking great on West End.
So, back to the high school front. Most of the games are
getting ready to kick off.
National anthems are being played right now. And, okay, if you could pick one game tonight that you were going to, what would it be?
White County, Nolensville for me.
Yeah.
And selfishly, I haven't been able to see Nolensville and, Coach Derrick yet. But, I mean, what a season they've had.
Yeah.
Like, they've never done this before. Of course, they're, 5 years old? 6 years old?
Something like that. 5 years old, something like that.
For as fresh of a program as they are to be hosting as big of a playoff game as they are, that's really impressive. And what Should be a really good crowd. Nolensville, the Page crowd was really good, Zach.
Yep.
The game we saw earlier, White County has a really good team with a very talented running back. So I would say that one. But there's so many to choose from.
There is. I think I would lean toward probably the best quarterback matchup in the state, which is Pope Prep versus Brentwood Academy's Kenny Minchie versus George McIntyre. That should be a really good football game. I've been saying all along that, what Pope Prep can do with Kenny Minchie compared to what they can't do with him is it's night and day. And so this is a team now, get their signal caller back, their leader back, the guy that can get the ball to his weapons that listen, if they win this game, they have to go on the road next week, likely to Baylor. That would be a really tough game as well. But anytime you have a 4-star quarterback behind center, I think you stand a chance. And then you throw in the fact that you're competing against the second-ranked quarterback in the 2025 class in George McIntyre in Brentwood Academy. These two teams, last two times they've played, it's been a one-possession game each time. Last year, Pope Prep beat BA in the playoffs with a game-winning field goal by Andrew Southard, who now kicks for the University of Tennessee at Chattanooga. So I expect a really good football game tonight. So I guess if I had to choose one of probably 10 really good ones, I would say I'm going down to Brentwood Academy.
By the way, throughout the evening, we will give you live listen-ins. That may not be the right way to say it, but you know exactly what I mean. We're going to check in on games throughout the evening. More reports for you, some great playoff activity coming, so stick around. Now we will go to a commercial break. This is Main Street Media Television.
It was just a few drinks. I'm good. I thought it was good.
After every game, we always have a few. It's no big deal. It was no big deal.
Hey, I can hold my liquor. I thought I could hold my liquor.
For Dustin Timmons and Joey Donnelly, they welcome every opportunity to serve and satisfy their clients. Whether you are looking to build your dream home or renovate your current home, their team will ensure that every client and remodel is unique, luxurious, completed on time, and within budget. Contact them today to set an appointment for a free consultation or to view some of their completed projects by logging on to DonnellyTimmons.com.
Jody Jones Dentistry can handle all your dental needs, from the basics to cosmetic procedures. All of this in the nicest dental facility I have ever seen. Jody has done it right. They're located conveniently at 55 Music Square East, and for an appointment, it's simple. Dial 615-259-5100 and tell them Plaz sent you. When you're thinking about golf, consider Riverside Golf Links. Under new ownership, the course has improved dramatically. It's now 27 holes, complemented by a 9-hole executive course. Book a tee time now at 615-847-5074 and get ready to enjoy the beauty of golf in the Old Hickory area at Riverside Golf Links.
I'm Bart Durham.
I was sworn in as a lawyer in 1963, and I've been working as a lawyer since then.
We're a firm that does exclusively personal injury, a lot of tractor-trailer crashes. Insurance companies will open up their checkbooks when you force them to.
We have systems that work.
We get the most money for our clients in the shortest amount of time. I'm Blair Durham. My dad and I want to help. Give us a call at 615-242-9000.
This is attorney Bart Durham, and this is me. I'm Aaliyah. Keeping in good physical condition is really important to me. But when I had a wreck with a tractor-trailer truck that hurt my legs so bad I couldn't work for almost a year, I knew I needed a lawyer that understood tractor-trailer cases. So I called Bart. Bart gets millions of dollars for his clients every year.
At Bard Elementary Law, we've handled hundreds of tractor-trailer cases.
My dad and I want to help. Give us a call at 615-242-9000.
We are back, and we welcome all of you into Friday Night Live. George Plaster, Zach Womble, Billy Derrick alongside. And guess what? We have our first scoreboard update of the night. Billy, who's it brought to us by?
George, it is brought to you by Donnelly Timmons Custom Builders. They are the premier destination for home building, custom home building in the mid-state. DonnellyTimmons.com is the website. Zach, take it away.
Not a lot of scores to get to early. It's just 5 minutes after the 7 o'clock hour here in the mid-state. But moving over to Region 1, East Tennessee, we've got some scores as Gatlinburg-Pittman leads Chucky Doak 21-6 in the second quarter. Both teams 10-1 on the season, so a really good football team moving on after tonight. Oliver Springs leads Cloudland 28-6 at halftime. Both teams 6-5 on the season. Daniel Boone with a close lead on Knox Central 10-7. Daniel Boone 11-0 on the year. That game's at the half. Greenville all over Gibbs in the second quarter, 41-7. Looks like Greenville will improve to 12-0 on the season. Monterey leads Hampton 13-8 at the break, and Science Hill leads Farragut 14-7. Science Hill, a little bit of an upset. They're 7-4 on the season. Farragut 9-2. Moving over to Region 2, Alcoa is just doing whatever it wants to against Pigeon Forge, leads 35-7. Anderson County 11-0 leads Elizabethton 20-7. A lot of people, I believe it was Vandy Chris that asked us last week, Billy, if we thought Anderson County could give Alcoa a run for its money. Looks like they're going to meet up soon. So again, Anderson County leading Elizabethton 20-7 in the second quarter. It's Coalfield leading Unica 14-12 at halftime, and Maryville all over Bearden 14-3 in the second quarter. And Knoxville West, my goodness, Knoxville West, throw in the towel. They are beating Morristown West 48-0 in the second quarter with Knoxville West.
When did that start? An hour ago?
Yeah, it started I guess an hour ago. But
that's crazy.
48-0. Again, they're in Knoxville, so they're an hour and ahead.
So
I mean, that's a lot of points.
Okay, let me ask a dumb question. In the playoffs, is the running clock still in effect?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. So it's 35 after 3, I believe is what it is. It was 4, and they moved it back to the third quarter. So if you're up by 35, the running clock starts, and then it doesn't stop. I mean, even if a team cuts it to less than 35, I mean, it still runs. And so that is absolutely still in effect. A couple of the scores, George, in Region 3, Upperman and East Hamilton tied at 21. Powell leads Walker Valley 21-0, and Sweetwater continuing their really good season. They lead McMinn Central 34-0. And that is your scoreboard update for the 7 o'clock hour.
No, there'll be more.
Okay.
That was really well done.
Hey, thank you. You've
gotten so much better at that.
You could really thank my teachers over Gladeville Elementary, West Wilson Middle School. So, they taught me how to read very well.
It's good to know.
It is good to know.
Billy, what do we got over there?
We got Ainsworth and McCauley. We're going to head over to their live stream on Ainsworth Live for that one.
But once they picked up that first down, they started moving the ball down the field. And here they are around the red zone, struggling to pick up a first down. It'll be 3rd down and 8 when we come back.
Go to Ainsworth.com/visit for more information and to register.
So as both teams come back out onto the field, it'll be 3rd down and 8. And this feels like the Tigers are going to have to pass here on 3rd down and long if they want to pick up the first down, as they've been so reliant on the run early on. But here you go, Levi Moore looking over the middle for Drew Bonner, who makes a great catch. As the ball was out in front of him, but he reached out and got it. And it'll be goal to go for the Tigers from the 5. Well, that's what happens when you run the ball off and you go to the play action, and it just draws that defense in and creates the space over the middle of the field, and the Tigers executed perfectly there. Looking to pick up the tempo, though. Levi Moore takes the snap on first down and goal. Martez Cooksey cuts it to the outside. Can he get all the way in? Waiting for the signal. Yes, he can. Martez Cooksey fights for all 5 yards and gets into the end zone to put the Tigers on the board first. With 7:40 to go in the first quarter, Tigers lead 6-0. So following the touchdown, it'll be senior Paulos Estefanos to kick the extra point here. Snap and hold are good. The kick is up and good. Tigers lead 7-0, and they get into the end zone on their first drive of the game to put the pressure on McCauley now to respond. Well, as far as first drives go, that went pretty smoothly for the Tigers. They had a couple of 3rd down conversions, but they were never stuffed, didn't have to punt the ball, and getting into the end zone on that first drive of the game is huge, as that takes a little bit of the pressure off that offense, and they can go out and play more comfortably throughout the rest of the game, knowing the success they're going to have early on. So back for McCauley, it will be Enrique James Leclerc as well as Carson Lawrence. Both of them standing on their own 10-yard line. Estefanos to kick it from his own 40. That one's going to be up, and it'll be James Leclerc to catch it from his own 13, and there he goes. Looking to cut back to the middle of the field, but a great open field tackle by Hayden Caldwell. Normally the one you see returning those kickoffs, but in on the tackle there. And so St. Hilaire and the rest of the McCauley offense will come out at the 21-yard line to start their first drive. And alongside a Matt running back who's been so successful this season, Tario Price, who will likely eclipse the 1,000-yard mark at the end of this game. He's at 950 now. And that's who they're going to give it to on first down up the middle. Not a whole lot on there. Picks up 4, so a solid chunk there on first down. Get another look at it here right up the middle. Tackle made there by Christian Grimes, and a flag is thrown, and that's going to be a face mask against the Tigers. You saw it right there. Christian Grimes just sticks out an arm, and unfortunately for him, grabs the face mask of Price. So that'll be an extra 15 for McCauley, and we'll give them a first down. And so it was a theme early on for the Tigers. The penalties were that just set them back. They hurt themselves. Towards the end of the season, they were more disciplined, but already here, 3 penalties in less than half of a quarter. McCauley going to go to the play action. St. Hilaire throwing. The pass was intended for Matthew Hebert, but it was just too far out of bounds, and it will go incomplete. So after the incompletion, it'll be 2nd down and 10. And this is an interesting play here to see if they go on the ground to try and set up a 3rd down and medium, or if they try and pick up the first down here. Tario Price remains the running back for McCauley. And he's going to get a run up the middle here. And tackle made there by Emmanuel Liggett. And Price gets 4 yards. So third down now. McCauley has a chance to try and convert on a third down. The Tigers were 2 for 2 on their drive. McCauley has their first shot. This Ensworth defense has their first shot to get off the field. Drew Hamilton comes out, and Enrique James Leclerc checks in for him on a big third down early on here in this one with under 6:30 to go here in the first quarter. And the whistle blown before the snap. And James Leclerc forced to come off. And in comes Andre Delanois. So on third down and 6 now. McCauley going to go to the ground, and they're going to have just enough for the first down. It's Javon McMahon on the carry, coming in for Price. And it's enough for McCauley first down, and they're into Ensworth territory. So converting on third down and 6 on the ground there for McCauley, but they're going to go to the pass here. St. Hilaire looking to his right, then to his left. The pressure gets there, and he's going to be thrown down by Christian Grimes. A huge loss on first down. Sets the Blue Tornado back, but a huge play there from one of the 18 seniors on this Ensworth Tigers team. And speaking of 18, it'll be second down and 18 for McCauley after the sack. They're back in their own half now at their own 45. Pressure coming off the edge from Emmanuel Liggett. A nice cut there by St. Hilaire, but he's not going to get too far. A number of Tigers in on the tackle, Utley, Grimes, and Jankowski. And so it'll be third down and 14 now for McCauley. This one even longer than their last attempt. It seems unlikely that they're going to try to run and pick it up this time. Nice cut there from Hilaire, and he's able to move forward, but the Tiger defense collapsing in on Hilaire. And it sets up a huge third down and long. And McCauley has to get to the Ensworth 37 to pick up the first down. Pressure coming off the edge from Sam Haley, picked up well. And they're looking to the near side here. The pass was intended for Nolan Sargent, but out of his reach. And the Tigers do well, hold strong, and force a fourth down and a punt. Something I talked about with Coach Pritchard, the defensive coordinator for the Tigers during the week. Because McCauley balanced the pass and the run so well, how is this Tiger defense going to try and limit them? And it was winning the game on third downs, not allowing McCauley to convert. But by doing that, you have to play well on first and second down. And the Tigers executed there on the first drive. Jamar Porter going to let this one bounce. And a great play, great special teams play there by TJ Usher to keep it out of the end zone for a touchback. And so the Tigers will be pinned at their own 7-yard line to start their second drive. Tigers lead 7-0, 4:35 in the first quarter. Both teams have had the ball once. The Tigers got into the end zone. McCauley was forced to punt. We'll see if the Tigers run it as much as they did on that opening drive. Only passed once, and it was on a third down, and it was completed to Drew Bonner. But here inside their own 10, they are going to hand it off to Mark Smith, but he's not going very far. A handful of McCauley players in on the tackle, and it'll be second down and long for Ensworth. So 2nd down and 10 from their own 7-yard line. Drew Bonner in motion yet again. And this time Levi Moore going to roll out to his right and looking for Drew Bonner, but he was being pressured in his own end zone, so he just got rid of it. And it was out of reach of the target there. As you'll see, Bonner just not able to get there. And so just like that, a 3rd down and 10, and the Tigers inside their own 10. And this would be a huge 3-and-out for McCauley, as they would get the ball, probably, if they're able to force the punt, they'd get the ball right around midfield. And a chance for that Blue Tornado offense to get right back out there. Still have yet to see the Tigers throw the ball toward Shamar Porter. We'll see 3rd down and 10. This seems like a great opportunity. Levi Moore looking to his right. Then going to Shamar Porter, and it hits him in the arms, and he's not able to bring it in. So with the incompletion, it's 4th down and 10, and the Tigers are forced to punt. So it'll be Estefanos to punt from his own end zone. And for McCauley, it'll be Andre Delanois back. Now he's pushed up all the way to the Ensworth 40. A punt that's going to take a friendly Ensworth bounce, but Delanois picks it up on the bounce, cuts inside to the 35, and he's brought down at the Ensworth 32. So some really good field position here to start the Blue Tornado's 2nd drive. McCauley comes back out now as they'll look to try and get this one into the end zone to try and square things up at 7. 3:44 to go in the opening quarter. And some really good field position for McCauley to start the drive. St. Hilaire is going to pitch it off to Tario Price, who finds a nice hole, but a great tackle there by Emmanuel Liggett, and then followed up by Russell Jankowski. And it didn't allow Price to get to the next level. So 2nd down and 7 after the 3-yard carry from Price. And McCauley inside the Ensworth 30-yard line. Delanois in motion, but it'll be the carry up the middle for Tario Price. Got a little bit more room, and he's fighting for every yard he can get. We'll have to wait on the spot to see if it was enough for a 1st down. It's going to be awfully close. And the head official is signaling for a 1st down, so move the chains. And McCauley is at the 22. Keeping it on the ground and finding success been the moral of the story for both teams so far. It's Javon McMahon in the backfield for the Tario Price, who's had a couple of carries already on this drive. And he's going to go up the middle, but it's Russell Jankowski who ran right through and made the stop. It'll be a loss of 1, and Same looking over the middle. It'll be a 23-yard try from the left hash for Jack. Can sometimes be an awkward angle for right side. Attempt on the night is up and good. So to end the first quarter, McCauley gets on the board. They close the gap. They don't tie it. And it's Exmouth 7. McCauley 3. Through one quarter. So at the end of the first quarter, McCauley kicks a field goal to make things 7-3. Tigers still lead. And the Tigers will get the ball to start the second quarter. As McCauley will kick it off, teams will switch sides. So McCauley, even with the short field, couldn't punch it into the end zone. The Ensworth defense stood strong when they had their backs against the ball at the goal line. And McCauley settling for 3 points as they get on the board. Back deep again for the Tigers. It will be the pairing of Martez Cooksey and Hayden Caldwell. And again, to kick, it'll be Alexander Jack, who just put the Blue Tornado on the board. And so Jack will kick this one off, and it's going to fall to Sean. There's that Zayden Moore in the middle of the field who makes a nice cut and is brought down by the leg. It was the leg of Phil Gutho. To start the second quarter, I'm glad to have alongside me Coach Bradley. Coach Bradley, what have been your thoughts so far in this game?
Dean, I've been watching from afar. We've been running the football. We need to continue running the football tonight.
It's been working so far.
A lot of success on the ground.
It's been working so far. It was the key to getting into the end zone on the first drive. So first down and 10 from the 30 after the Zayden Moore return. McCauley looking to bring some pressure, but it'll be Mark Smith who's pitched out wide, and he's not got a whole lot going there on first down, a pickup of 1. The Tigers will look to avoid their second straight 3-and-out after being pinned deep towards their own end zone. They couldn't pick up that first down, and that's really how McCauley got on the board, was to take advantage and get good field position after the punt. Now on second down and 9, we haven't seen a whole lot of the Tigers passing the football, as we've mentioned, but this seems like an opportunity to do so. And indeed, Levi Moore looking for Shamar Porter, who's got to step on his man, and Levi Moore just overthrows his man.
Had a step on him, but just a little bit over the top there. But that keeps the defense honest.
With all the runs, as you said, it keeps the defense honest, and that one is just a straight go from Porter, who had the straight line speed to get past his man. Levi Moore just put a little bit too much juice on that one. So third down and 9, and again, as I just mentioned, the Tigers will look to avoid another consecutive 3-and-out.
Maybe a draw play here. I'm not sure. Maybe to Speedy.
Drew Bonner moves to the inside there in motion. And Levi Moore going to take the snap, escape the pressure. Doesn't have a whole lot of options. He's just going to loft that one up and away.
Yep. Got to throw that away. Good play. Punt the football.
Good job by Levi Moore, not forcing anything there, being dangerous, especially back in your own half. And give credit to the Blue Tornado defense. They played really good coverage there, and it'll set up fourth down.
So Estefanos will punt again, and again back deep for the Blue Tornado. It'll be Delanoy. So Estefanos gets the punt up and away. This one's a line drive that should take a good bounce, and it does. Delanoy has to field it, backtracking at his own 30, and he steps out of bounds at the 34.
It's a great kick.
It's a low liner, and it was always going to take a good bounce, as you can see there. And Delanoy does a good job to field it and get an extra few yards on the return. So from the 35 is where Macaulay will take over. So Macaulay will come back out after getting the ball quickly due to 2 straight 3-and-outs from the Tigers.
2 wide receivers left, one going in motion.
And it'll be Hilaire to keep it, then go back that way. The catch made there by Sargent, and he's got 5 on first down. The flag is down, though, towards the line of scrimmage. This one could be coming back.
Could have a lineman downfield, or it could be a hold. We'll see.
We'll see right there. Looks like a hold on McMahon, which will push Macaulay further back into their own half.
Always good having the other team playing behind the sticks. So that's going to be some tough yardage to get back.
So first down and 20 after the holding call. First down can be picked up for Macaulay all the way at the 45. We'll see if they just try and pick some of those yards back up on the ground or if they try and get them all in one play here. Sammy Taylor dropping into coverage. And it'll be a direct snap up the middle for Hilaire, who's going to be brought back by Ethan Utley. Trying to create a little distraction there with the wide receiver in motion. The Tigers defense stayed disciplined and stayed true to their task. Hilaire got 3, second down and 17.
Motion 4 across again and seeing if they bite on him. Quarterback tried to run up the middle. We were there to stop him.
Hilaire drops back in the pocket. The pressure coming. Boom.
Oh, my.
Well, the pressure was there, and the ball comes out again. They're going to rule him down by contact, though. They're going to rule him down by contact. Is not going to. The ball will stay with Macaulay. The pressure came from Martez Cooksey, who has had a great game to this point. Number of tackles. That one was big.
Big 75 was moving. We came up, I think. The one came up on the hit and caused the fumble.
It was E.J. Smith with the awareness to pick the ball up and run for the Blue Tornado, and he got what could end up being some crucial yards. He picked up 5 on the carry. So third down and 12 after the chaos on second down.
More pressure up the middle.
Going over the middle to Delois, and it's going to be awfully close to the marker. I think they may just give it to him.
It's on the line, and they're moving the chain.
And indeed, it will be a big third down conversion there for the Blue Tornadoes. Third down and long. And they overcome that early first down holding call. With 9 minutes to go here in the first half, Macaulay will look to try and get into the end zone to get their first lead of the night as they're approaching midfield. Hilaire going to get it out quickly. A nice catch made there as the ball came out quick. Matthew Hebert barely had time to turn around before the ball was already coming at him.
Right at 9 yards there. I think it's going to be second and 1.
Tackle made there by Zayden Moore after the pickup of 9 on first down. See, Macaulay likes to run the football on second down and short. This seems like a chance to just pick up that first down and keep moving the ball down the field. And indeed, it will be a run up the middle for McMahon. And it's going to be close, but I think McMahon just got enough to move the chains.
Like they pulled 75 there coming down the line, and it'd be tough to get in his way. You got to get low and hope for the best.
And indeed, it will be a first down for McCauley after a pickup of about 1.5 there from McMahon. Into Tiger territory at the 45. Again, taking their time to get to the line. They're in no rush here as they're letting that clock run out. First down and 10 from the 45 now. St. Hilaire dropping back in the pocket. Has time. Escapes the pocket. He's going to run, and he's got 9 yards. Again on first down, a pickup of 9. Second down and short coming up for the Blue Tornado.
It looked to me like we were in man coverage, but I'm not sure anybody had the quarterback or somebody was spying him. Maybe they gave him a little too much ground.
Looks like it was man coverage, and then the linebackers just dropped back and maybe dropped too far back there, which Hilaire picked up on and picked up the space he was given on second down and 1. Mario Price is in at running back, and he will get the carry. Up the middle, still on his feet.
By 75.
Still on his feet. He could try and break this one all the way, but a great last-ditch effort there from Emmanuel Liggett to keep Price out of the end zone and off the scoreboard. As you see, Emmanuel Liggett just tracking him all the way down, not giving up on the play. And so now first down and goal for McCauley from the 8. It'll be a QB sneak attempt.
Up the middle.
Interesting play call there on first down.
They got some big guys up front, so they're just going to try to keep pushing it looks like.
And they got 3 yards there. So second down and goal from the 5.
Been watching some NFL. The Philadelphia Eagles have been doing that kind of QB sneak a lot, getting some yardage with their quarterback.
Eagles, of course, the last undefeated team in the NFL, playing some really good football. That's just one of the many things they're doing well.
Still got to play the Cowboys one more time, though, D.
Second down and 4. St. Hilaire is going to keep it up the middle and maybe got a yard. Probably not even that, though. The Tigers defense did well there.
Big play right here.
Tackle made by Brandon Collins up the middle to keep Hilaire from going very far. So third down and goal.
4 down territory. I'm not sure. I think maybe yes.
Well, we saw them get towards this area and they took their points. Maybe they feel like they've taken their points. Now they can take the risk. But that's if they don't get in here on third down and goal. We're approaching the halfway point here in the second quarter, around 6 minutes to go in the first half. St. Hilaire, empty backfield. It's going to keep it up the middle. It's going to be close. He's into the end zone for the touchdown. And McCauley grabs their first lead of the night with 6:02 left to go in the second quarter. So all 3 plays designed differently. It was runs up the middle for the quarterback. And on the third time of asking, St. Hilaire gets all the way in. Elliot Arnold, the sophomore, on for the extra point here for McCauley. High snap, good hold, and the kick is up and good. So McCauley extends their lead to 3 points, and Ensworth will now have to respond for the first time tonight.
No, that's disappointing. We had a fumble there, forced that thing, a good hit from Cooksey on the blitz, on the corner blitz. Ball comes out, 75 picks it up, and he fumbled it again, but they called him down. That's a definite momentum shift right there.
And not only that, he picked up 5 yards after he picked it up, which ended up being the difference because McCauley picked up just what was needed of them. They picked up 12 on a third down and 12, and that allowed their drive to continue and eventually get into the end zone. So that's where we are now. With half the quarter remaining, the Tigers trail for the first time tonight. And it's their turn to answer. The winner of this game will take on the winner of MBA Christian Brothers. MBA currently leading that game 14-0 early on. And so likely the winner of this game will just travel down the road to take on the Big Red.
Short kick
high
there.
kick there, short. Drew Bonner calls for the fair catch, and he does make the catch at the 27, and that's where Ensworth will get it going.
Decent field position there. Obviously, they're trying to put you in a bind and pick that thing short. Hope that you fumble it, maybe get the ball back again. So
try and put the ball in hands of players who aren't used to making catches. especially on kickoffs.
Let's get a big dose of number 5 here in the series.
See if they can get him going. The Tigers struggled the last couple of drives. Zayden Moore on motion, and they're going to give it to him. He's going to get to the outside. A nice cut there by Moore. He's got 6 or 7 on first down. There is a flag down on the far side. Referee is talking it over after the first down carry from Zayden Moore. And it'll be a face mask against the defense, so that'll give the Tigers 15 added on from the end of the run. And a fresh set of downs as they move all the way up to their own 48. Can that get the Tigers going now? Their first down in 3 drives.
Definitely helpful. If we can get on the other side of the 50 here, we got a chance.
And Levi Moore going to keep it himself, and he is pushed down. Tackle made by Etienne Delisle, and it'll be a loss for the Tigers.
Must have just been a missed assignment, or they pulled through. We didn't block. Goodness gracious. We got to pick him up.
And so second down and long after the loss of down on first down.
Well, I think you still run it here again. Don't throw it unless you have to.
Certainly been the theme for the Tigers these last few games. They've liked running the football and just slowing the game down to the pace that they want. But this time they will go to the air, and it's out to Drew Bonner, who's got a handful there on second down. But it's still third down and long here for the Tigers. And you wonder, if you get close, is it 4-down territory?
It's a good question. Let's get the first down here and avoid having to worry about that.
Well, Shamar Porter is by himself at the bottom.
Yeah, we need a slant right there to Shamar.
He's got room. But they're going to go to Drew Bonner over the middle. It's just a high throw that was a little bit behind the intended receiver. And so it'll be 4th down, and out comes the punt team.
Well, aside from a couple, we punt them deep here. I think our defense is playing well. It still gives us an opportunity to get the ball back. I think we still have 2 timeouts.
Both teams are left with 2 timeouts.
Try to work the clock here to get the ball back.
It is worth noting McCauley will get the ball to start the second half. That's a high, strong punt there. But it's going to go all the way into the end zone. Put too much on it there, Estefanos. And so McCauley will get it at the 20.
Legatron needed to throttle off that a little bit, didn't he? But it's hard. That's a tough spot right there.
Well, he's had to punt a few from deep inside his own half. And so he had to get as much on it as possible. That one, he was punting from around midfield and just put a little bit too much on it. So from the 20 is where McCauley will start their next drive. And St. Hilaire comes back out. Mario Price alongside him. His favorite targets as well. So pretty standard lineup to start this drive for the Blue Tornado. St. Hilaire looking to the outside, and he's got Sargent, who's going to cut up field. He's tackled out of bounds after a pickup of 9.
Out of bounds, stop the clock, but it's second short. It'll play for a loss right here.
See if they can
get some pressure.
Jump the front, like you said, a negative play, which would set up a 3rd down. Sargent in motion. He gets the call again. He's going to cut up field, and he is
a play right there.
Huge hit from Ethan Utley, and it will be a loss of 1. That'll get the crowd into as well as we come to a crucial 3rd down.
Great play by 55. That's how you teach it. Butler's coached them up this week.
Well, they had that extra week to rest and recover before what we knew what was going to be a physical game tonight against McCauley, as the Tigers had the first round bye, but they're coming out flying tonight. It's Delanois in motion there from the near side to the far side. And it'll be a handoff up the middle for McMahon, who's got some room. Certainly the first down, still on his feet as he's brought down by Brandon Bowie Jr., Mason Curtis rather, just shy of midfield.
They just blocked us all right there.
Another look.
And cut through.
He was untouched until the 36-yard line, and then he broke a couple of tackles.
Wave right there. Unbelievable.
Mason Curtis finally brings him down after a pickup of around 15. 20 yards, rather.
That was too much. Not what we needed. Got a rebound right here.
3 minutes to go. McCauley not worried about the clock by any means. They'll take their time here as they're around midfield. Got some design, but really well read there by Sammy Taylor, who drops Delanois for a huge loss. And another negative play for McCauley. Can they overcome it this time?
I think we want them to keep trying to do that stuff to the outside. We're having success snuffing that out.
Maybe the play
coming
just
straight at us is what we're having some difficulty with. So running wide.
Maybe the play just a little too complicated for their own offense there. So it was a loss of 6 on first down, which would set up second down and 16 at their own 43. Going to go to the air here. St. Hilaire going to dump this one off.
That quick. You got to wrap that up.
Carson Gentle
Good hit.
is brought down by a couple of Tigers there. Emmanuel Liggett, Russell Jankowski. Liggett a little slow to get up, but he's on his feet now. And so third down and 11, another third down. McCauley has been pretty good so far at converting these. Can the Tiger defense get off the field?
2 minutes on the clock here, so we're going to get a stop here and maybe look for a timeout so that we can.
Certainly makes sense in this situation. Third down and 11.
Off the pressure.
McCauley, St. Hilaire looking to his right, going all the way to the far side. And a great catch made all the way on the far side. It's number 5, Drew Hamilton with the catch. It's going to be awfully close to the marker. I think he may have just got it. And it is going to be a first down.
Deep out right there, and just gave him a little too much cushion.
Ball
the corner might have slipped. Maybe I couldn't tell.
The ball was thrown all the way to the far side, which gave Zeta Moore a chance to get all the way out there. But I think he focused on the ball rather than the player, and he slipped and missed it all. So first down and 10. St. Hilaire again, this time looking to his left, and he dumps this one off to Delanois. And that one itself is going to be awfully close to a first down, and I think they are going to give him a first down. And indeed they are, inside the 30 now, McCauley. As they'll look to try and go up 2 scores by the end of the half and then get the ball to start the second quarter.
2 for 1, they say, in the pro game.
At this point, if you're the Tigers, you're just trying to keep them out of the end zone, if not off the board.
Or hold them to 3, maybe.
St. Hilaire again looking to his left, dumping that one off. A nice catch made there by McMahon, but he gets out of bounds. So a pickup of 6 or 7 on first down, and they stop the clock with 49 seconds to go. So second down and 1. After, I guess they gave him 9 yards there on the reception.
Coming there, that's a hold.
And Sam Haley tried to get there. And the throw is up, and it's a great catch there by Nolan Sargent. No flags, and McCauley's up 16-7. You'll see, though, was there a hold on number 50 there?
27. 50 had 27, no call. That's disappointing.
Looked like there was a little extra hold there. You'll get another look at it here, 50.
That's holding.
And no flag to that point. The ball was thrown. It's a good throw and a great catch there by Sargent.
Yeah.
Under pressure from a couple of Tiger corners. And so it'll be the extra point now as McCauley will look to extend their lead up to 10. And they will do just that. So with 41 seconds to go and 2 timeouts, can the Tigers try and close this back down to a 1-possession game?
Well, we're certainly capable of scoring quick. Need a good special teams play right here. Maybe a good return to give us some good field position.
They've had a couple of good looks at Shamar Porter. He's been unable to bring in any of his targets so far.
2 timeouts, so I think if we get a good return here, I think we got something to work with.
Use the sidelines, and the clock will stop momentarily if you pick up a first down. So the Tigers certainly have a chance here. But we'll see if Alexander Jack tries to put this one back up in the air and not allow either of Caldwell or Cooksey to return it. Jack will sky this one up, and it'll be Drew Bonner again to call for the fair catch, who makes the catch again at the 27. And so with 41 seconds to go,
well, obviously
Tigers
we
with
have
some work to do.
Paulo Sestefano, so if we can get within his range, he's got a long of 47
I believe
year,
so, yeah.
I think if we can get on the other side of the 50, we give us some shot to maybe get something on the board here.
He's made a handful from 40 plus, so certainly reliable. Tigers have had a few kicks blocked recently, but if he can get it up over the line, there's a good shot he knocks it through the uprights. On first down and 10, though. Levi Moore looking over the middle for Shamar Porter. He had him for a second. He's going to tuck it and run now. He's probably going to try and get all the way out to the sideline, and he does.
That's okay. We'll take that.
And so he gets 8 yards there on first down. Clock stops with 32 seconds to go.
Run it, get out of bounds. He's dangerous with the ball in his hand.
See, it was Mark Smith calling for it on the near sideline, who wanted to catch it and turn upfield. It was Levi Moore who kept it himself and picked up 8. But on second down and 2 now. Levi Moore takes the snap, going to get it out quickly to Sean Johnson, who rolls out of bounds, but the clock is still going to run.
Get up on the line. Let's go.
And the Tigers will be forced to use that timeout.
That ball was a little low, and it was a good catch, but he wasn't going to stay. He was down once he hit.
Gain of 4 will move the chains for the Tigers, and first down from the 42 when both teams come back. Interesting to see. He picked on it pretty quickly, but Mason Curtis comes in at wide receiver here, something we've seen just a couple of times throughout the season.
Maybe hopefully as a decoy, or maybe force them to come over there and honor him. He's a big body.
Cauley dropping some players back here with 26. The middle of the field is wide open, though. See if the Tigers pick up on that. First down and 10 from their own 42 with 26 seconds to go. Levi Moore going to take a shot for Mason Curtis, who had the ball in his hands but just couldn't bring it down. He's a very tall target, the Michigan commit, but he just couldn't corral that one.
That was a heck of a throw. Got to make that play right there.
To the far side of the field. It was a longer throw than it looks. And the clock will stop after the incompletion with 19 seconds to go. That certainly would have put you right around field goal range.
Absolutely.
I think we got maybe take a couple shots at the end zone.
I think we work 2 over here on the near sideline, get him out of bounds, try to get him a quick hitter.
Again, you've got Shamar Porter really by himself. 3 receivers on the far side for the Tigers. They're going to go to Shamar Porter, who hasn't even turned for the football yet, and it's intercepted.
Ball's out.
The ball is out, and the Tigers pick it up.
Ball. That's a great football play.
So with 8-9 seconds to go, the Tigers will likely have one play and then a field goal.
That was a good recovery by 2. The ball was underthrown. I don't think he was expecting it, but that was a great play to come in there. And we had Martez and 71, Caleb Doris there, ready to pick it up. So
the officials talking over really probably if the clock is going to start on the whistle or not. And so it looks like the Tigers, because it would have, will have to use their last timeout.
Yes. Not enough time to spike that. I think you use your timeout and then try to. Or maybe not. They mark it for play when on the snap.
Maybe because it was a turnover, the clock stops.
Yeah.
So first down and 10 from the 43 now on the other side.
A lot of width over there across the field. If we could
into Macaulay territory. Levi Moore escaping the pocket. He's only got 5
26,
seconds.
Closing quick.
And with 2 seconds to go at this point, you're looking at a Hail Mary.
Throw it up. Yep. Throw it up to 2 and 18 and see what happens.
Got to think if they're going to put them on the same side of the field here.
Line them up together. I would, yeah. Or send them wide or send them to the short. I'm not sure.
That pass intended for Mason Curtis, just overthrown.
3 to the left. You got to think they're going to double quarter over here, but safety. They're in.
Levi Moore back in the pocket, going to let it fly. And that one just out of the reach of anyone. And so that'll end the first half. Macaulay leads it 17-7. They've put up 17 unanswered after Ensworth got on the board first.
So, Macaulay looking good early in the first half. They've got a 10-point lead at the intermission. Zach, not really a huge surprise there, is it?
No, I don't think so. I've always said that the Middle East in D2-3A was better than the West side. Ainsworth, of course, plays in the West region. Macaulay in the Middle East, I think, have been more tested throughout the season, and Macaulay just kind of flexing its muscles with the touchdown drive there late in the second quarter to go up by 10. You know, had a chance to potentially get another score in, but they, after the interception, they fumble it back to Ainsworth, who then gets a shot at the end zone. It comes up empty. But, yeah, not surprised at that one. Macaulay, a really good football team, and one that I think is, you know, primed to potentially win it all this year.
Yeah, I think that was a little too good to be true there at the beginning of that one for Ainsworth. And, you know, it's not over yet, but
no,
it's
a 10-point game.
I mean, by no means is it over. Macaulay has control of that game at this point, though. So
I would say so, yeah.
And I mean, they've been the better team this season. They're the higher seed. Well, are they the higher seed? Because they are playing on the road.
Yeah, they do. No, they're not the higher seed. They're the 3 seed, I think, from the Middle East, and Ainsworth, I think, was the 2.
Okay, which is interesting. It's a little surprising
because I think Ainsworth was 7-4 on the season, and then Macaulay, I think, is 9-2. So record-wise, it doesn't add up. But again, because Macaulay plays in the Middle East, a tougher division, tougher league to win. I mean, the only team that Ainsworth has to really compete with in that West side is Brentwood Academy.
Exactly.
And so, I mean, no disrespect to Memphis University School or Christian Brothers or anybody Briarcrest or anybody like that, but it's just different. So, I mean, Macaulay technically hosting because they're the 2 seed, but I felt comfortable in our staff pick 'em this week, rolling with Macaulay. But speaking of scores, George, would it be time for a scoreboard update? It's 2 minutes to the hour, so it's actually the perfect time for a scoreboard update. I got people in my ear telling me that the scoreboard update is presented by somebody. Billy, can you tell us who?
So, hold on a second. People are talking in your ear,
and they're saying, "Hey, can you ask Billy who our scoreboard sponsor is?"
Scoreboard sponsor is Donley Timmons Custom Builders. They are the premier sponsor of the scoreboard update. DonleyTimmons.com is the website. Go check them out. Zach, you've seen the product they have. Of course, they helped us out for the Father Ryan broadcast. So DonleyTimmons.com is the website. Zach?
I'm disappointed that Zach didn't know that.
No, I knew it. It
didn't seem like you did.
No, Billy tell you it's a running thing at this point. I let Billy tell who the scoreboard sponsor
is. You see, we do most of these updates when you're gone, George, so we've gotten into a nice rhythm.
Yeah.
I do leave before you all do.
You do. Yes. You do. And judging by that clock, you could leave right now. I mean, it's an hour early, but you could in theory.
You want me to give out a score first?
Sure, go ahead.
Cincinnati leads East Carolina 14-5 early in the second period.
That's the only
sold
one.
out Nippert Stadium.
That's the only one he cares about.
Earlier tonight, Southern Miss beat Vanderbilt at Memorial Gym 60-48.
That's tough, George.
They were a 16.5-point dog.
So really, they lost by 28.
Social media with Vandy fans is on fire. I mean,
are they really?
They're calling for Stack's job at almost everybody. Like, it's
really?
Not message boards. Yeah, it's not good.
And listen, when you've got a handful of people upset, I mean, they could really cause some change. But you guys said it in all seriousness. I'm making a joke.
Cincinnati leads 14-5.
Just gave Stack an extension. Not going to fire him. But listen, anyways, we digress because this is Friday Night Live. We are here to talk about high school football in Middle Tennessee. What better way to do that than a quick scoreboard? Well, I say quick, but this thing is
This ain't going to be quick.
loaded with scores. So let's start with Region 1, Division 1 out east. Billy and I will alternate regions. Starting off at the top, we've got Gatlinburg, Pittman, and Chucky Doak battling it out, a battle of 10-1 teams. Gatlinburg Pittman leads 28-20. Oliver Springs leads Cloudland 28-12 in the fourth quarter. It's Daniel Boone looking to continue its undefeated season, leading Knox Central 16-7 in the fourth quarter. It's Greenville 58, Gibbs 7 at half. Just go ahead and call that one. Monterey leads Hampton 33-16.
So you're projecting a winner in that game.
I think it's safe to say. And then Science Hill leading Farragut, a little surprisingly, 26-16 in the fourth quarter.
Okay, we roll on to Division 1, Region 2. Alcoa leads Pigeon Forge late in the fourth quarter, 42-13. Anderson County up on Elizabethton, 28-21. Coalfield leads Unica, 47-12 in the third quarter. Maryville up on Bearden, 21-3 in the fourth quarter. West all over Morristown West at the half right now, 61-7. West is still 11-0. They are rolling. York Institute up at the half on South Green, 14-0.
Moving over to Region 3, Coffee County with a 17-14 lead over Blackman. We may get to that one later in the show, courtesy of WGNS, so make sure you don't go anywhere. Upperman leads East Hamilton 36-35 in the fourth quarter. Powell all over Walker Valley, 41-0 at the break. It's Gordonsville 14, South Pittsburgh 7 at halftime. Sweetwater continuing its great season leads McMinn Central 55-14, and Tyner Academy leading Westmoreland 28-10 in the third quarter.
In Region 4, Clay County all over Whitwell right now, 26-0 at the half. East Robertson in a little bit of a tight one with Bledsoe County, 14-0. Giles County leads Loudon in the second quarter, 14-0. McMinn County, 12. Oak Ridge, 7 late in that one in the fourth quarter. Oakland leads Lebanon, 21-7 in the second quarter. No score between Stone Memorial and Red Bank at the half.
Looks like Oakland has scored 14 unanswered. That was a 7-7 ball game. You thought maybe, hey, is Lebanon going to get them? But looks like Oakland maybe has found their rhythm. Moving over to Region 5, Beach leads Smyrna at the break 10-0. It's Fayetteville 14, Dresden 3. Mount Juliet with a 3-point lead over Page 10-7 in the second quarter. Decatur County Riverside 12, Mount Pleasant 7, second quarter. Pearl Cone leading Hardin County 14-7 also in the second quarter. And Smith County 10-1 on the season leads Fairview 14-7 just before the break.
In Region 6, Cane Ridge leads Clarksville 36-6. Wow. Cane Ridge keeps rolling in the second quarter in that one. Lewis County leads Adamsville 21-0 in the second quarter. At the half, between Lexington and Marshall County, that one's tied at 7. McKenzie leads Moore County 28-14 at the half. Nolensville and White County 14-14 in the second quarter in that one. East Nashville leads Waverly 28-20 second quarter. So we got some really good games right now.
Yes, we do. Moving over to Region 7, where there's not many good games, but they're all in the second quarter. Covington leading Millington 21-0. Dyersburg over Ripley 22-0. Haywood leading South Gibson 20-0. Henry County all over Portland 42-0. Milan leads Obion County 28-14. It's Peabody, not Vanderbilt, but Peabody High School 28, BT Washington 6. Union City 7, Westview 0.
Over to Region 8, Bartlett leads Brentwood High 14-0 in the second quarter. Huntington leads Fairleigh 7-0 in the second. Germantown up on Houston 10-7 in the second quarter of that one. Mace leads Lake County in the first quarter 16-0. Springfield up on Munford 7-0 at the half.
And I'll just roll down all the Division II stuff because there's only a few scores in at the moment. Baylor leading MUS 42-16. NBA continuing their undefeated season, leading Christian Brothers High School 21-0. That game in the second quarter. Moving over to the East region, Chattanooga Christian leads Franklin Road Academy 22-14 in the third quarter. A little bit of surprise here, Billy. DCA and Friendship Christian knotted at 7 in the second quarter.
Upset. We talked about it.
We did. Knoxville Webb leads Davidson Academy 21-10. Why is John Decker calling me? Lipscomb Academy leads Silverdale Academy 35-0. as well in the middle region. Brentwood Academy all over Pope Prep, 17-0. As we just mentioned before the break, McCauley 17, Innsworth 7. Lausanne leads CPA 6-0 at the break. And just before the break, USJ 28, Lakewood Christian 6.
That's it.
That's it.
Darn good scoreboard update. Should we go to a break?
We should go to a break.
Okay. A lot of the games obviously have reached halftime. Third quarters are about to get underway, so we've got plenty more coming on Friday Night Live here on Main Street Media Television.
So, I got a DUI. Mom, Dad.
Why didn't you just call someone for a ride?
I wasn't thinking ahead. I didn't think I was gonna get caught. Yeah, my best friend Tim.
Still coming to my bachelor party next month?
This DUI cost me 10 grand. So, no. Yeah, you, in the back.
Did you know I almost died when you hit me?
I didn't think this would affect so many people.
You think it was worth it?
No more questions.
It was just a few drinks. I'm good.
I thought it was good.
After every game, we always have a few. It's no big deal. It was no big deal.
Hey, I can hold my liquor. I thought I could hold my liquor.
For Dustin Timmons and Joey Donnelly, they welcome every opportunity to serve and satisfy their clients. Whether you are looking to build your dream home or renovate your current home, their team will ensure that every client and remodel is unique, luxurious, completed on time, and within budget. Contact them today to set an appointment for a free consultation or to view some of their completed projects by logging on to DonnellyTimmons.com.
When you're thinking about golf, consider Riverside Golf Links. Under new ownership, the course has improved dramatically. It's now 27 holes, complemented by a 9-hole executive course. Book a tee time now at 615-847-5074 and get ready to enjoy the beauty of golf in the Old Hickory area at Riverside Golf Links.
I'm Bart Durham.
I was sworn in as a lawyer in 1963, and I've been working as a lawyer since then.
We're a firm that does exclusively personal injury, a lot of tractor-trailer crashes. Insurance companies will open up their checkbooks when you force them to.
We have systems that work.
We get the most money for our clients in the shortest amount of time.
I'm Blair Durham. My dad and I want to help. Give us a call at 615-242-9000.
At Miss Lou Steele's, we go for apple pie. A place that feels like a home away from home. A comfortable place to bring your family from out of town. It's a place where great conversations are had. It's a place where you can shop 200 small businesses in one location. It's a place for you to shop for gifts for any occasion or just to treat yourself. Come on down to Miss Lou Steele's. You'll be glad you did.
The West Group at Southwest Funding has a combined 29 plus years of experience in the local mortgage market. It's our top priority to make sure the client is well informed and has a transparent loan process. Our focus is to make your journey to home ownership as seamless as possible. Once you close with the West Group, you are family for life. To become part of the Happy West Group family of clients, call 931-266-0013 or visit us at thewestgroupswf.com.
We are back here on Friday Night Live. Zach, you all read out, and you did it beautifully.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
The scores moments ago. What was the biggest surprise to you in all of that?
Definitely the DCA Friendship Christian score, 7-7.
Cane Ridge, honestly, I mean,
yeah,
just because of last year's game, like I thought, okay, we'll see. We'll learn a lot about Cane Ridge, but they keep rolling, man.
What is it, 36-6?
Yeah. Just how bad it is. But also East Nashville leading Waverly 28-20 right now. So there's some interesting scores out there.
There are a lot of interesting scores, but I think the one that you pointed out, Friendship Christian DCA, kind of grabs my attention right now. Yes, Cane Ridge leading the way that they are, 36-6, is a little bit of a surprise, but it's a really good football team and one that I thought could really make a run at it. I thought Friendship Christian was a step ahead of everybody in D2 single A. Clearly, DCA showing that championship pedigree tonight. And again, tied at 7. Looks like it's at the halftime, according to Jason Miller, which is, I believe, the athletic director over at Friendship Christian Academy. Friendship Christian with 141 yards of offense to DCA's 84 yards of offense. So not a lot of
fireworks.
Yeah. So considering, they have 84 yards of total offense and 85 yards rushing from Ashton Jones. So minus 1 yard passing is not great. But you know what? It's a 7-7 ball game and a game that, was out of hand in the regular season. And now it's,
Okay, so the strategy for DCA had to be to slow this game down.
Yeah.
And they can do that by way of Jones being able to run the football.
Well, Ashton Jones is a really good back. I mean, he had a really good sophomore season last year, came back, and has been really good this year for the Wildcats.
He's really come on as of late down the stretch here, too.
He really has.
He had a game of, 6 or 7 touchdown runs or something like that? I mean, he had a crazy game. So his numbers have been up there for, one of the better backs in the mid-state.
Absolutely. And so, this is a team, DCA, that, obviously has taken that first loss to FCS seriously and has come back with a vengeance in this one. So that one kind of surprises me a little bit. Like Billy said, Cane Ridge just being up the way that they are. Over Clarksville is surprising a little bit. Not surprised. You look at McCauley, Innsworth, 17-7. Not surprised at that. A little surprised Pope Prep BA. BA leads 17-0. I thought Pope Prep may be able to put some things together, but they may be.
But if Minchie went out, as you said
he
earlier,
came back though. He
came
back after a series, so he's playing. But just I guess for whatever reason, just not able to put it together inside the red zone. But that's a little surprising. But I think again, the big one for me tonight is Friendship and DCA, just because of how lopsided it was. I think the first time it was like 40-something to 7. If I'm not mistaken. So, it was a big score the first go around. And for it to be tied at 7 going into the break now, I think is a win for DCA.
Billy, where are we going from here?
George, we are going to go over to WGNS Radio, 101.9 on the FM dial in Murfreesboro. And, Zach, I just forgot what game that was.
Blackman and Coffee County.
Blackman and Coffee County. We're going to head out there to Blackman and Coffee County right now.
A right or 3 left or 2, because there always somebody's open and they got some athletes. And then off of that, maybe hit Marshall up the middle.
Yeah.
And then get some running game in.
Haven't seen much of him offensively tonight. Yeah. All right. We're going to take a timeout. When we come back, hopefully we'll have all this
Rod will have a TOA highlight. We'll be talking to Danny Brewer, hopefully, and we'll have an update on our Jennings and Ayers Funeral Home scoreboard. As the IDST halftime show continues, it's 17-14, Coffee County Red Raiders over the Blackman Blaze.
And just like that,
George is whistling away.
George is whistling away just like that. I mean, that's what happens though when you try to go
see
live.
when you're doing live television, things like this happen.
But at least I can whistle well.
Yes.
Well, maybe.
So Zach, that score was what? What was that? Oakland.
Oakland was leading Lebanon 24-7 at the break. I saw it.
24-7.
Coach T had 21-7, but we've got an.
But this game we just heard on the radio. That's.
Oh, you mean Coffee County?
Coffee County.
Coffee County and Blackman. Coffee County, I think, was leading 17-14.
Okay, I think you're right. Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, yeah, 17-14. That feels right on that one. A really good game. Like I said.
And we're going to go back out there in a couple of minutes.
We will. We could also start getting some calls in if you want. We could start getting some reporters calling in to give us some updates. So, I mean, there's a lot of places that we can go. I know Nolensville just went to the half with Tyler Palmatier. They lead White County 28-21. He's saying neither team has punted tonight. So that's probably been a lot of fun to watch. Smith County leading Fairview 14-0. So plenty of places to go.
Well, speaking of that, sorry to interrupt you there, Zach, but we do have Blaine Keller on the line with us. Zach, where does Blaine Keller happen to be tonight?
Blaine is at Bledsoe County, East Robertson. East Robertson trying to make a little history tonight, Blaine.
Yeah, how about that, Blaine?
Yeah, East Robertson for his first quarterfinals appearance in school history. They've had some great seasons, across their school's history. Maybe some down years here recently, but leading 14-0 at the start of the third quarter over Bledsoe County.
Zach Prince, obviously kind of being the bell cow for East Robertson. I know he's gotten into the end zone tonight for them. Offensively, what's the game plan for Chase Brooks, and I guess how are they executing it?
It's running, and more running.
Yeah.
To kind of prove a point here, you had 4 total drives in that first half. 2 from Bledsoe, 2 from East Robertson. You're really killing the clock as much as you can here. But the run game for East Robertson allows them to do that. Of course, Zach Prince has picked up a couple of FCS offers, and it's going to continue getting looked at throughout the postseason. But Isaiah Rhodes is another guy as well who's sneakily picked up 1,000 yards rushing. So you've got 2 guys in the backfield there that are over 1,000 rushing yards this season.
Blaine, East Robertson trying to go to 10-1 on the year. And if they do, they not only get a home game next week in the in the quarterfinals, but they also get a home game in the semifinals. I know East Robertson is not going to try to get caught looking ahead, but have they noticed that trend of like, hey, if we keep winning, we don't have to leave cross plans?
Yeah, that quarterfinal game is tough though. I'm sure they've kind of talked about staying at home and continuing history in that way, but Tyner being the team that they'd likely face in that quarterfinal game, I'm not sure the score of them against Westmoreland, but it's a team that's pretty similar with a lot of weapons like East Robertson, and a lot of people are seeing them as the favorite right now in 2A. So, really got to get over that hump before you look ahead to semifinals.
Sure, yeah. I mean, Tyner leading, I think, 21-10 over Westmoreland. You mentioned how good they are. I was looking at them because they played Westmoreland this week. And as good as Tyner is offensively, defensively, they may be even better. It's interesting, though, that you said that you feel like Tyner may be the favorite in that Class 2A field. Blaine, I'm hoping you hear me, man. But, as we get ready to wind down this football game, what else are you looking for from this Indians team as we just close this thing out?
Well, I think whenever you look at the first half between East Robertson and Bledsoe here, Bledsoe moved the ball really well. They just kind of couldn't get the ball in the end zone. They missed their field goal on their opening drive, and then failed for a 4th down conversion on their second one right before the half. So I think you really just want to see that defense. The cliche is bend, don't break, but you don't want to see them bend altogether here in the second half. You really want to see these guys play to the best of their ability and shut these guys out.
I know you're not there, Blaine, but do you have any update on Springfield at Munford?
Last I saw, Springfield led 7-0 in half.
Okay.
I'm not sure if that score stands here in the second half, but I do know that Springfield was leading at the break.
Yeah, I just tried to check Social Dweebs on Twitter, and I couldn't find anything from them, but I'll still be on the lookout for that. But anyways, Blaine, really appreciate you jumping in, man, giving us some update from East Robertson. Listen, great season for the Indians, and I bet that atmosphere tonight's been pretty fun, hasn't it?
Oh, absolutely. It's pretty lively out here. You know, fans were. I got here a little bit earlier than I normally do. I try to show up about maybe 30 minutes before kick. I showed up 45 this time, and it was still pretty packed at that point. So the people of Cross Plains are really loving it right now.
That's good stuff. Thank you for the report.
Thanks, guys.
By the way, Zach got a college score to report. Cincinnati leads East Carolina 21-5 around the midway point in the second quarter.
McCauley just took a 24-7 lead over Innsworth as well with a big touchdown reception. I don't know their player's name. They play in Chattanooga, so I don't know their roster too well, but McCauley all over Innsworth in this D2 3A matchup. The Middle East showing that they are the superior conference in D2 3A and really flexing their muscles tonight.
Really flexing.
They are
really flexing.
What's this is a flex zone, as the kids would say. This is a flex zone.
That's what the kids say these days.
Yes, it is. Billy, where are we going?
Zach, we can kind of look around.
Let's go back to Murfreesboro.
Yeah. What an idea, George.
Yeah, thank you.
But that's what you're here for.
By the way, we have an update. Cincinnati leads East Carolina 21-12.
Didn't you just give that update?
Well, -7.
So they have cut into the lead.
They certainly have. That's why we gave that update. With the extra point, it is now 21-12. Cincinnati, 6 minutes left, first half. And starting here in just a little while, Southern Cal at home against Colorado.
Yes. So some interesting college football games tonight. Meanwhile, we head out to George is making the what's that?
You will hear their band play that thing 100 times.
And I love it. That's my favorite fight song.
Oh, it's hilarious.
Okay, let's head out to WGNS Radio again out in Murfreesboro.
And Blackman High School ready to go here.
Oh, they're kicking off to Coffee County. We've got that wrong.
I did. We got that swapped. But it is an onside kick. Takes a bounce. Let's get that football. There's a scrum for the football. And Coffee County, no, Blackman recovers the football. The onside kick, well, it worked out anyway.
Well, that was a case there where the onside kick was beautifully done. It had a lot of hops in it, and you would think Coffee County was ready for it. They were not, and Blackman gets it with a great field position at the 49.
49-yard line of Coffee County. So 49 yards to go, trailing 17-14. Coin toss happened at a weird time tonight, and then I didn't write it down, so that's on me. Snap to Reisner. Coming from right to left, trying to run up the middle, nothing there. Going to lose a couple of yards. Looks like about 3 well, they're only going to mark him back to the 50, John, so
okay.
I'll take that. Loss of a yard on the run.
I'm not perfect, Brian.
Oh,
every once in a while I make a mistake.
Tackle by Smith there. In the backfield for the Blaze. New running back. It is Ben Marshall running the football, diving across the 45 to the 43-yard line, and it brings up a third down. That's a 6-yard run. So they've got Marshall in a little wildcat here. And Nate Salise in the backfield on the right hip of Marshall. A little different look here. Here's Marshall going right side. Marshall, nothing. Lost a couple. Back to the 45-yard line. It's 4th down. Shepard, the first Red Raider in there. John, would you think this is 4-down territory for the Blaze?
I think they're going to go for it, yes.
Got Justin Brown in there along with Elijah Pitts. Looks like Solis is going to be on the right hip of Marshall. Ball from the right hash. Fakes the give. Marshall going deep. It's Pitts. It's a diving catch, but incomplete. That would have been a big pickup inside the 15-yard line, but it falls incomplete, and the Red Raiders will take over.
He threw that ball a long way, and pretty good pass.
I don't know how that pass gets much better right there. Coffee County takes over.
What I loved, he turned it, threw it into out of the defender's grasp.
Yep.
Into his hands, the receiver. We'll start over. Here we go.
1st and 10 for the Red Raiders. Blackman Blaze defense needing a stop here, kind of set the tone for the second half. Quick screen pass to Osborne. Osborne wrapped up, pushed back, give him a yard and a half, but that is it. No more. 2nd down and 9 at the 46-yard line. McGee and Brown, the leading tacklers for the Blaze.
Blackman pulling all the stops here. Marshall's in there.
Pippinger has Heaton in the backfield with him. The give to Heaton right up the middle. Hit. Give him 3. That's it. 3rd down and a very long 6. Ball at the Coffee County 49. Rachel on the tackle.
Well, this is big. 3rd down and 6.
Coffee County with Foster and Martin, left side receivers. They do swap out and bring Weldon in as a receiver here to the right. So 2 left, 1 to the right. Tight end blocking on the left side of the line. Rolling out that way is Pippinger. Now Pippinger's going to keep. Runs into a wall of Blackman Blaze. Give him a yard, but that is it. It's 4th down at midfield.
Now here's the decision by Coffee County here, Brian. I think they're going to go for it too.
Wilkerson makes the tackle for the Blackman Blaze to force this 4th down and about 5.5 yards. The ball is just on the Coffee County side of the 50.
I think Coffee County wants the possession time.
Yes. They've got the ball between the hashes. Hard count. Blackman stunning on defense. Coffee County fans wanted a flag. They're trying to draw them off, and with 1 second, Red Raiders take a timeout. We'll step aside for 30 seconds. It looks like they're going to punt when we come back on State Farm Prep Sports. 17-14. Coffee County leads Blackman in the 3rd.
We're at Rick's Barbecue talking with Anne-Marie Brents, who says they're ready to feed your entire crew with the family pack.
It's a pound of pork or any of our pulled meats, and then you get 2 16-ounce sides, and then you get a bag of chips, which are plain or barbecue, and then the buns come with it, and then you get one of our drink choices, which is either a 2-liter of one of our sodas or a half-gallon of one of our teas.
And don't forget the famous Rick's Loaded Baked Potato.
That's the biggest potato you can get. They're right at 2 pounds.
Let Rick's Barbecue do the cooking. 212 Warrior Drive.
I'm State Farm Agent Celeste Middleton, and you're listening to Prep Football.
Our game tonight brought to you by Animal City, Music World and Drummers Den, Stones River Town Center, and Mills Family Pharmacy.
Eli Wilson with his 4th touchdown for the Cougars, 63 yards to the house. MTCS leads 25-7 in the 3rd quarter. Here on 4th down, it looks like Coffee County will be punting with Ian Weldon getting the football, kicking it away. No Blaze around it. It's going to bound out of bounds at about the 25-yard line. So good field position. So kind of traded possessions there now, John, on the first 2 for one for either team.
Well, they were so far, they were at midfield, and even though the punt was short, it still backs them up a little bit. And if you're Coffee County, you're trying to keep this thing, Blackman, as far away from the end zone as you can.
I see Peyton Thomas in the game. I believe Peyton is going to be your quarterback here on this series. or at least on this possession. Fakes the handoff, keeps Thomas up the middle to the 30, to the 31-yard line, and a nice first down run there.
Well, the tackler gave him about 4 of those. We appreciate it very much.
Farrell with the tackle by Coffee County, but he picks up 8 yards on that 1st and 10, making it 2nd and 2 at their own 32-yard line. Now Reisner back in at quarterback, sends Brown in motion from left to right. Fakes the handoff to him. Give, and up the middle is Caden Perkins. Perkins from the 35 to about the 37-yard line, and that's enough for a first down, Blaze.
New blood in there for Blackman, and Perkins did a nice run right up the middle.
Got a new score in Beach in the third quarter, now leading 17-0 over our Smyrna Bulldogs tonight. 1st and 10, Reisner back to pass. Now steps up in the pocket. Now's in trouble and now is sacked back at the 30-yard line for a loss of 7. That's Big Myers for the Red Raiders.
Well, Jack tried to roll out, but he was surrounded by Red Raiders. Little lapse on the offensive line.
That will bring up a 2nd down and behind the chain here, 15 yards. That was a big loss back to the 31. Got to get it to the 47 for a first down. 3 wide left. Make that 4. As trotting out here is Campbell Lee to the near side. Looking this way. The pass. A diving catch. Did he make it? Did he make it? He did. And that has been Marshall. Right there at the stick. It's a first down and a big 15-yard pickup.
Throw was a little low, but Marshall dove for it and picked it up. Nice play.
They moved the ball to the 47-yard line. Blackman at their own 47. Quick count, pass, Brown, caught, out of bounds at the Coffee County 40-yard line. Boy, if he had had a little more room to the inside and that sideline not caught him, he was gone.
I don't know how he avoided those 2 guys that were right on top of him.
I don't either.
Be a first down.
Shepard making the tackle. Blackman with another first down. Sending Brown in motion. The give is to Perkins. Perkins 35, 30, 25, and a big dash right up the middle. And that was actually 10, Holloway, not Perkins running. Donovan Holloway with a nice run up the gut. Peyton Thomas at quarterback, and Holloway is on his right hip.
The fake to Brown caused that big play.
Pass out over to Holloway. Now flag thrown as the pass was incomplete for Holloway. That flag was thrown in the backfield as Thomas was making that pass. We'll see what this is. Maybe against Coffee County here.
It kind of looks the way Peyton was pointing that it was.
Personal foul, and it's against Coffee County. That's a big 15-yarder there. 15-yard penalty for the Red Raiders and a first down, Blaze. That is a huge, huge play here. Blackman trailing 17-14, 5:36 to play in the third. This is a war, I'm telling you. Thomas sets him down in the Steve Martin Construction red zone at the 12. Passes under pressure. Brown's got it. Brown's gone. Touchdown. Blackman Blaze. 12-yard touchdown run to the senior, Justin Brown.
Thomas was clobbered as he released that ball, but had just enough zip on it to get it to Brown. Great play by both ends there.
Blackman regains the lead here in the third quarter. And a nice drive put together by the Blackman Blaze. And here is Evan Russell for point with 5:28 to play here in the third quarter. Russell to kick. The kick is away, and the kick is good after the Toots touchdown. Your new score, Blackman 21, Red Raiders 17 on State Farm Prep Football.
Hi, I'm Dr. Morris. If you're suffering from joint pain, you'll do just about anything to find relief. But all you have to do is visit Magnolia Medical. Our regenerative therapy program offers lasting relief without steroids or surgery. Our treatments will ease your pain and assist in repairing your tissues, making knee and shoulder pain a thing of the
5 yards, so second down and 15.
All right, the crowd's feeling
Will
it
it be
now. A little more momentum
Will it be a
going.
delay of game, maybe? No, it will be a false start. So it'll be second down and 15. Another negative play for McCauley, but they've been able to overcome these plays in the first half. And this ends with defense make a stand here in the third quarter. Delanois in motion there to the far side of the field, and they're going to look his way. St. Hilaire escaping the pocket, and he had an open receiver. It was Carson Gentle running from left to right, and he had space there to cut up field. The ball just a little low. Gentle maybe a little upset he didn't come up with that one, but it'll be third down and 15 after another incompletion. It stops the clock with 5:08.
All right, we got to keep everything in front of us here. They've had some success on third and long. Obviously, the run up the middle has been in play. However, the deep out hurt us last time too on the right side.
15, and Coach Bounce going to have to burn a timeout as Tigers avoid a penalty there. It would have been too many men on the field as Malachi Battle came running off. Patton forced to use his first timeout, so both teams are now have 2 left. And it'll be third and 15 when they come back from the timeout.
Obviously, this is a big play. You know, if we can get a stop here, get a score, 24-21, we're right back in this thing.
Absolutely. And so far, like I said, it's been a game of runs. It's 7 for the Tigers, 24 rather for McCauley. Now if Ensworth they've got the score. If they can get a stop and another score, they can, like you said, climb right back into this one.
Receivers to the right, wing, going in motion 8, lining up there on the other side.
Gentle there in motion for McCauley. St. Hilaire, time in the pocket. The pressure finally gets there. The ball for James LeClaire. He bobbles it and then makes the catch and is into the end zone for the touchdown. And McCauley needed 15 to pick up the first down, but they got it all, and they put 6 on the board as he was bobbling it, but it just lands into his hands, and McCauley are going to look to push the lead back up to 17.
Unbelievable. That was a heck of a catch. That thing was bobbling in there. He had a step on the defender.
Ball
saw the thing through, and it was a good throw, good catch.
And required a lot of concentration there.
We had some
James
pressure
LeClaire.
there. Somebody got down at his ankles, but wasn't enough to get him down to the ground.
And the kick for McCauley is up and good, and it's 31-14 with 4:57 to go in the third quarter. It's gotten a little bit quieter now in the stadium.
Not what we needed.
Ensworth offense again will be forced to put points on the board to just stay in this one.
Couldn't tell if there was any kind of safety help over the top or if we were in man. I wasn't paying attention to the secondary.
Certainly looked like when the ball was thrown, there wasn't a safety back there, but maybe the safety was drawn elsewhere. And so for the kick from Jack will be this time from his own 40. Will he try that sky kick? He will. But this one's going to be Hayden Caldwell's to return. Makes the catch at the 15, immediately looks to reverse the field. He's going to try and get all the way to the outside, and he does. And he is pushed out of bounds at the 28, and he is going to be called for a penalty there as there was some extra barking after the play.
Kind of unnecessary there. I mean, got to maintain our composure. Good hit.
See the tackle out of bounds, but then you'll see he says something a little extra there, which will push Ensworth back half the distance to the goal as it was inside the 30. So they'll start their drive probably around the 15-yard line.
You know, these camera angles we were working here are pretty good.
Pretty awesome.
I mean, it's pretty awesome at a high school game to be having these angles to watch these plays from.
Be able to get second looks at great plays, close calls. It's
there is no replay though, so no matter what happens, it's just good to watch.
Yes. And so the Tigers will be pinned at their own 14-yard line to start this drive after the personal foul from Caldwell.
You know, it is tough. Your emotions are high. You just gave up, you know, a big score, gave up, and now you're trying to get some of that back, but you still have to just stay calm and keep fighting.
Remember, he was the one, too, that got Ensworth back in the game with the touchdown
Correct.
On the drive before. So first down and 10 from the 14 after the kickoff return, and it'll be Levi Moore up the middle who has some room, but a flag has been thrown, and this one will be coming back.
Dylan Hudson a little upset, thinking that's on him.
I didn't see a whole lot there. We'll have to wait and see. It is going to be coming back there for the Tigers, and that'll push them probably back inside the 10, just beyond the 5. It'll be half the distance to the goal from the spot of the foul. And all of a sudden, you had a return that was out to the 30-yard line, and now you're inside of your own 10.
First and a lot. 17, it looks like.
And so first down and 17. It'll be Mark Smith on the carry, and he has got 4 yards, I'd say, maybe 5. It'll be second down and long after the run for the Tigers. Again, it'll be Mark Smith on the carry, and again, not a whole lot going for him. He'll get back to the initial line of scrimmage, maybe just pass it at the 15. It'll be third down and a long 9 yards coming up for the Tigers. As this McCauley defense looking to force yet another 3 and out, which they've been able to do on a number of occasions tonight. And they've been able to give their offense good field position because of it. Hasn't been a target towards Shamar Porter in a little while now. Maybe this is an opportunity for him in the slot to get the ball. But Levi Moore looking the other way, escaping the pressure. He's going to tuck it and run, but he's going to have to do a whole lot to get the first down. Still on his feet. Gets to the 20. He gets about half the yards he needed to get to the first down. And the Tigers will punt.
Great effort. It's just too much to try to get. I mean,
because it's only the third quarter, you don't want to try and end the game by going for it here. It's the right decision to punt.
Yeah, as much as you don't want to, this is the safe play right here.
Fourth down and 5. Estefanos is going to punt that one up, and that is a nice punt.
Let it roll. Good bounce.
And it's going to bounce just inside the McCauley 35. And McCauley will get the ball at the 34 as they will try and extend their lead. It's up to 17. That's the highest it's been all night. They'll try and extend their lead to the largest it will be on this drive.
He did flip the field there. I mean, that's a great punt. Now we got to bow our necks here on our defensive side. We got to figure out this run up the middle.
It's been causing the Tigers some issue. That offensive line from McCauley has been creating space for the running backs to run into.
Obviously, you got to either start moving your guys, slanting them. You got to figure out where that void is. You got to have your linebacker coming over the top.
St. Hilaire dropping back in the pocket, looking over the middle, a high throw intended for James Leclerc, who couldn't hang on to that one after getting his hands on it. After he made a spectacular catch the drive before. So after the incompletion, it's 2nd down and 10 with 2:23 to go in the third quarter. 3 receivers on the near side here for McCauley.
We can get a stop.
It's going to be a play action out to Sargent, who makes that nice cut back to the middle and then back to the outside. And then it's been moved back to the middle. And sure enough, he's got a first down at the 45.
I was sitting there thinking just run the ball, but that was the way I was thinking. They're throwing it, getting first down. So keep doing it. We're going to have to tighten it up a little bit.
Brandon Collins checks into the game for Sam Haley in that linebacker like-for-like switch there. As Haley needs a little bit of a breather as that up-the-middle run for McCauley has been working. Getting some new fresh bodies in there for the Tigers. And again, McCauley just letting this clock run now. 5 seconds to go on the snap clock. They still haven't lined up. 3, 2. And they do just get it off. St. Hilaire stepping up in the pocket now, looking to let one fly. And Zayden Moore just really blocking off James Leclerc from getting to that one. So on 2nd down and 10 again after the incompletion. McCauley going to pass it again. St. Hilaire forced to throw it, dump it off quickly to Etienne Delisle, who's still on his feet out past the 35, finally brought down at the 33. No flag, so that one will stand for a first down. And McCauley just
tackle there. We got to stay on our feet and wrap up. And then he just make the tackle. Now we're 10 more yards.
It was Emmanuel Liggett in there who tried to make the attempt on the tackle. Just almost got too low and didn't get a whole lot of Delisle. And he was able to pick up a whole lot of yards after that initial contact. And they're inside the 35 at the 33 now. Closing in on a minute to go until we head to the final quarter. Russell Jankowski trying to get to Hilaire. Incomplete. Good defense there. Good coverage from Zayden Moore. And 2nd down and 10 yet again. So this is going to be the 3rd set of downs in a row where McCauley starts it off with an incomplete pass. But they've been able to convert on the previous 2 attempts.
A sprint out was the call. Russell just got through there and almost got him. A sack would have been better, but that quarterback got it away. He's evasive.
Blair has almost felt like he's grown as a passer throughout this game. They relied on the run early on, and the more and more we've grown into this game, the more and more he's felt comfortable in the pocket making throws. Clock stopped at 56 seconds after the incompletion. And they will go to the ground, and it is Tario Price up the middle. And he will get 6 yards. And they will have to get one more play off before the end of the third quarter. So a 3rd down coming up as we wind down the third quarter. Big bodies up front for McCauley. Tario Price in the backfield. If they're going to run it, it's going to be him up the middle, and that's what it is. And he finds the hole. He's still on his feet. He's got the first down, and he's at The 17-yard line is where he will be marked down. And so a big third down conversion there for the Blue Tornado moves the chains as they.
It's tough. They're getting a hat on a hat. The linebackers are getting washed down, and the guys just running through the middle.
And they will be happy to take this one into the fourth quarter. It'll be first down and 10 from the 17 when we come back, as McCallie have 1 foot in the state semifinal. So the Ensworth defense is going to have to do everything in their power to try and keep McCallie out of the end zone. If McCallie get into the end zone, it'd be a 24-point game, which is technically a 3-possession game, but boy, does it seem difficult for the Tigers to get back into it at that point.
Field goal and 3 scores, and still got a lot to fight for, but it'll be very tough.
So first down and 10. St. Hilaire, this is a chance for the Tigers, and it's intercepted by Emmanuel Liggett, who is going to take this one all the way to the outside and be pushed out of bounds at the 15.
There's a flag.
That'll be an extra 15 likely there. So the Tigers will probably get the ball at the 30-yard line, which is huge.
Great pressure up the middle. Couldn't see where that came from, but they sent everybody anticipating a pass. They might got a helmet. Maybe got a helmet.
With Sam Haley with the pressure and Emmanuel Liggett with the interception.
Helmet here or face mask? I don't know.
Well, we'll see. They may have picked up the flag. The referees are talking over it now. The Tigers had 2 chances in the third quarter to get an interception and didn't take advantage of either time. That one, they are going to pick up the flag.
Burton flag. That's tough.
And so,
I mean, he shoulder blocked him out. I don't see a helmet to helmet. Maybe they came together and made the call. But either way, the Tigers have the ball.
That is exactly what they needed. McCallie was in the red zone, and they were probably a score away from putting this one out of reach. But now Ensworth has a chance to get back into it. Levi Moore going to get to the outside. The flag is already down. That was down probably before the play was even started, all the way on the far side there. Wait and see. See, Levi Moore takes it to the left, and right there at the 18, the flag was thrown. And it'll be a sideline warning against McCallie. Now each team has had their warning. So no further damage there on the penalty. It'll just be second down and 3 yards after the 7-yard carry from Ensworth's quarterback. 3 receivers on the near side, but it's going to be a run to the right for Mark Smith, who's still on his feet. He's going to be close to the marker. I think they're going to give it to him.
That's a good spot. I think that's going to be a first down.
And they are going to move the chains. So Ensworth picks up that first down, gives themselves some breathing room. They're out to the 25.
Need somebody to step up here and make a play. Let's see who it could be.
And it's going to be Levi Moore to run again. And an extra little push from the offensive line. Forward progress will give Levi Moore 4 yards. And they are having some success running the football, but you can't do this the whole drive. You just won't have enough time left in the game.
No, I mean, maybe we're setting them up for something. Hopefully we are.
Using the run to set up a deep shot here. Possibly Levi Moore going to get it out wide to Zayden Moore, who made a nice cut back inside. He's going to pick up 10 yards, and he picks up a first down in doing so. And the Tigers are at the 40-yard line.
Good throw and catch. A little run afterwards.
Haven't seen a whole lot of that tonight. Hopefully more of that to come.
Now Porter's open. I mean, he's got plenty of room right here.
They're giving him about 10 yards of separation here.
I would just throw it to him and let him make a play.
Martez Cooksey up the middle, and he's got, we'll call it 5 there on first down. So this has been a more
little tempo
put together
here.
drive from the Tigers, as they avoided that 3 and out, and now they're starting to pick up the pace here.
I mean, maybe you take a shot play here with Shamar and see if you can get over the top of 9.
Well, it's going to be another Levi Moore run up the middle. He's going to get 3 yards there, so 3rd down and 4 now for the Tigers.
Got to think we are in 4-down territory here, so we're going to have to maybe you take your shot here and see what you come up with, or try to maybe go ahead and get the first down. 3rd and 3.
Tigers going to snap it quickly, and they're just going to hand it off to Cooksey, who follows his blockers and is pushed forward for a first down.
But we got to go.
Tackle made there by Xavier Gagne, the junior, in on the stop for the Blue Tornado. But he couldn't stop Martez Cooksey from picking up the first down. Levi Moore looking to his right, has Drew Bonner there, but great reading of the play there by Ollie Carter, who gave Drew Bonner that space. And then when he saw Levi Moore lock eyes in, broke up the pass there. So 2nd down and 10. The clock stops with 9:19 to go left in the game. And some work to do for the Tigers. And if you're McCauley, they are giving the Tiger receivers a lot of room, but maybe they're just saying, you're just not going to beat us over the top. We're not going to let you get points back all in one play. But here's Martez Cooksey with some room. He's cutting back up the middle. Still not brought down. Finally is brought down at the
good run by
McCauley 24. A pickup of 25 yards.
Good blocking downfield by some of our receivers.
And a great extra fight there just to pick up a few extra there from the senior running back. He's been doing well on the defensive side of things, now getting it going on the offense. That's going to be a holding call. They're going to lob that one up to Shamar Porter. It's incomplete. But it looks like this is going to be offensive holding on the Tigers, assuming McCauley accepts the penalty, because it'll push the Tigers back 10 yards from the spot of the foul, and this looked like this foul happened behind the line of scrimmage, so we'll wait and see where the officials spot the ball. And indeed, it's going to be around 1st down and 23 for Ensworth, as the penalty was 3 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
That's not what we wanted.
Well, after a great run from Cooksey, you just get set back by a penalty, which really has been the story of the season for the Tigers. They've been hurting themselves with these penalties. They had gotten a little bit better in the last few weeks, but here they are again coming to hurt them. That one intended for Sean Johnson over the middle. Couldn't bring it in there. And 2nd down and 23 now. Looking over the middle there. Good enough throw. Maybe the ref got in the way a little bit there. I'm not too sure. But feels like a catch you've got to have if you want to try and get back into this one. So 2nd down and 24 now. And it is going to be 4-down territory from this point on. So you're just trying to get some of those yards back after the holding call. Give yourself a chance. And it's going to be the run reverse to Zayden Moore, who's got some room if he can get all the way to the outside, and he does. And he's going to be brought down at the 25. So they'll get just shy to the original line of scrimmage. Sets up 3rd down and 11. Some good running there. Tigers with a little trickery of their own. We've seen McCauley have some of their own unique designed plays. And that one worked for the Tigers. It was good for 14. So 3rd down and 10. They are going to say 10. Levi Moore looking to his left, going for Sean Johnson. That one just out of reach. And so now it's going to be 4th down and 10, and an interesting decision coming up. The offense looks like they're going to stay on the field. The field goal would cut it down to 14.
Play defense.
But it looks like this Ensworth offense is going to just try and get into the end zone to really just close the gap as much as they can. But 4th down and 10, this is a huge play.
Don't want to come away empty-handed, so we need to get something here.
Remember, this drive happened because of a turnover forced by the Ensworth defense. And Levi Moore going over the middle to Drew Bonner, who has the first down, and he's going to get into the end zone. Breaks the tackle, and the Tigers are back into it.
Great call.
Well, it was a risky decision to go for it on 4th down and 10,
the
but
middle
a
of
high
the field
risk
has been open.
comes with a high reward, and the Tigers climb back into it. Estefanos to attempt the point after to try and close the gap down to 10 points.
Good work by Drew Bonner right there. Great catch. Good run after the catch. Wobbled the snap a little bit, but we got it up.
Shiesty leads the team in receptions, the senior does. And showing off there why. Great catch, and then to break the tackle and break it into the end zone.
Uh-oh. Is that Kerner? Kerner trying to do some push-ups down there?
Looks like it.
21. Woo. Yeah.
So now we said the Tigers offense are going to have to score to stay in this
plenty
game.
of time. We got a lot of time, but we've got to play. We need 3 and out right here.
Tigers had to score to stay in it. They did that. Now it feels like the Tiger defense has to get a stop. Can they do that with 8:12 to go in regulation?
And maybe McCauley will try to keep throwing it. Into our advantage, we've got an interception. Maybe they'll try to keep throwing it. We can get another one.
We've had a couple more opportunities to have some more interceptions, but have been unable to convert. McCauley returners are stepping in. It looks like they're going to go for the onside kick here. Estefanos has the ball lined up. The Tigers are going to try and get the ball right back. It just feels like with 8:12 might be a little too much time. McCauley's going to use a timeout, as they probably weren't expecting that.
Maybe that was a good call to make them do it. Then we'll line up, kick it. Maybe get them to burn a timeout.
And now just kick it deep.
Yeah.
We'll wait and see if that's what the
I
call
think
was all
we still
along.
Got plenty of time here.
I think you trust your defense, because by going for the onside kick, it almost shows you don't trust the defense to get a stop with 8:12 to go.
And they showed it to them, burned a timeout, so that's good. They're down to 1.
Now maybe if they set up for the onside kick, they can kick it deep and pin McCauley back deep.
Yeah, I would not want to give them a short field right here with 8:12 left.
They could just chew the clock, and if they get into the end zone, that probably ends this one. That would push up to 17 in a 3-possession game. We'll see what Estefanos does here, how he places it. Looks like this might be another onside kick here. You've got the 6 players on the near side here, and it will be an onside kick attempt for the Tigers as they look to spark the momentum back into this one. Estefanos, that one's going to bounce up in the air. Was it touched too soon? No flag.
McCauley's ball.
But McCauley ends up with it. Well, that was a chance there.
Looked like some confusion.
That ball is a good kick there from Estefanos. It popped up at the right time. The referees are talking over it. I think it may have hit an Ensworth player before it traveled 10 yards. Refs are talking it over.
Well, they all got to get in there.
And in the end, it'll be McCauley ball at the 49. I think it was a 5-yard penalty. So first down and 10, and McCauley will start this drive inside Tiger territory. The Ensworth Tigers went for it on 4th down and 10. It was a big risk, but they got the reward. And it's Tario Price right up the middle, still on his feet, brought down by Mason Curtis. May have hurt himself while making the tackle as he's clinching onto that left wrist. As you'll see, it's right up the middle, which is where McCauley's had so much success tonight. That offensive line creating the gap,
washing them down and running straight up the gut.
So McCauley into the red zone after just one play. I was talking about how Ensworth went for the high-risk play on 4th down and 10, and it went their way, and then they went for it on the onside kick, and they just, maybe their luck run out there. So 1st down and 10, again, it's Price up the middle, and he's got 2.
I think they're going to just bleed this thing and keep pounding it.
Let that clock run on and on.
No need to force anything here.
So on 2nd down and 8, McMahon, nice tackle there by Martez Cooksey as McMahon couldn't quite get going. Sam Haley a little slow to get up now. He'll come out. Brandon Collins will come in for him. And 3rd down and 7 coming up for McCauley.
Well, a definite stop here for a field goal would be optimal in the situation we're in.
It would keep it at a 2-possession game, 13-point game, if they can hold McCauley to a field goal.
Of course, 3rd and long, they've had a lot of success this game.
Tario Price is not able to escape Martez Cooksey, who is really having a great game on the defensive side of things, and is going to force McCauley to take a field goal, you would think. The offense is staying on the field for the moment here.
Maybe make us burn a timeout.
Give the Tigers a taste of their own medicine after they just went for it on 4th down. It worked out for the Tigers.
See if we jump off sides, you waste another, you burn another 20 seconds. Probably could take a penalty. I mean, well, he probably wouldn't take a penalty, but he might. They've got a pretty good kicker. Historically, they do.
And they have now 7 seconds. The whole offense is barely getting lined up now. If they get into the end zone, that puts it at 3 possessions. They're going to go to the play action. They're looking out wide. Not a whole lot of options. They're looking for Sargent out of bounds, and they turn it over.
Wow. That's
a big play call there.
Yes.
Because now, if you just kick the field goal, it requires Ensworth to get into the end zone twice. Now they only need a field goal and a touchdown. Still a whole lot of work to do for Ensworth.
But a chance.
Absolutely. And it almost feels like now Ensworth made the right decision going for the onside kick. Who would have thought back then that it would have been the right decision? But it was. Again, you've got Shamar Porter all the way on the near side with 2 players inside of him. And Mark Smith in at running back for the Tigers to start the drive. Zeta Moore in motion. Levi Moore surveying the field, escaping the pocket, is going to have to get rid of it and finds Zayden Moore over the middle of the field who fumbles. Well, lucky for him.
Not sure if he ever had.
It was Braylon Morris who got back on top of it for the Tigers. And after all that, the Tigers pick up a yard.
Wind is picking up outside, swirling around. Could impact some of our throwing.
But with 4:38 to go, the Tigers are going to have to throw it a lot more. Drew Bonner with a catch over the middle. Just shy of the 35. A pickup of 19 will move the chains. And Ensworth picks up the 1st down as they'll get up to the line quickly now. They're going to have to go tempo the rest of the way. Levi Moore takes the snap again, looking to throw, escaping. He's got Sean Johnson open if he can get it to him. And he went Johnson's way, but the throw wasn't on target. So incomplete. 2nd down and 10. Clock stops with 4:18 to go. The Tigers at their own 35.
A little bit of a scramble drill there. It's hard to say. Porter was open, but I think it would have been too much of a throw across his body.
Zayden Moore maybe limping a little bit there, the Tigers receiver number 15, but he stays out there for the time being. 2nd down and 10. Levi Moore going to take a shot for Shamar Porter, and nobody there. Incomplete. 3rd down and 10. If you're the Tigers, it's 4-down territory, so you've got 2 shots to pick up this 1st down, but now you've put yourself in a situation where it feels like you just have to go for it all 2 more times.
Bonner's had some success here on this down. Let's see if he looks for an opening with him.
And they're going to run it here on 3rd down and 10, and Martez Cooksey is going to get 4 yards here, but they're going to have to get to the line quickly, even though it's 4th down here, as we approach the 4-minute mark to go in the 4th quarter. 4th down and 6. Feels like the Tigers have to convert if they want their season to keep going. Levi Moore back in the pocket. Looking at his options, has Bonner over the middle, who makes a fantastic catch across midfield, brought down at the 43. What a play, because that ball was thrown into a tight window, and Drew Bonner
comes through again
with a big-time play to truly keep Ensworth's season alive.
Yeah. That was the ball game. If we don't make that play, this game's over.
So 1st down and 10 from the 43. Again, Ensworth going to the air, going to look for Shamar Porter, who cannot bring it in.
He got turned around, and he was maybe trying to one-hand that thing.
Got a hand to it. Yeah, it would have been a difficult catch to come down with it one-handed. That does stop the clock and can just slow down the tempo of this game a little bit. You don't want to get it too fast for the Tigers. They want to play at their pace. But at the same time, they do have to pick up the pace to not let the clock run too low.
Looking for 6. So far, he's the only one catching the ball. Let him drag across the middle again.
So 2nd down and 10 from the 43.
There he
Levi
goes.
Moore gonna look to pass, has to escape the pressure, and he does just that. He's got a 1st down
and more.
He's gonna be brought down at the 25, and another 1st down for the Tigers. We'll stop the clock momentarily. What do they have in store for us?
To get it all here. We could still try to, get a field goal. We just got to use the clock appropriately.
Levi Moore has Drew Bonner open over the middle, and he finds him.
Oh,
Drew Bonner.
Keep your feet moving.
Down to the 6. 1st down and goal coming for the Tigers.
Still have 2 timeouts. No need to use them, I don't think.
You want to save them for your defense.
We're going to get a play right here. Well, it's started now, but we're ready to go.
Clock is running again now. 1st down and goal from the 6. Levi Moore takes the snap, looking to pass again, looking for Drew Bonner, and that one felt forced.
Traffic, yeah, that was.
Bonner slow to get up.
White shirts around there.
Limping on that left leg, maybe, because they've been targeting him a lot this drive, and he's delivered. That was a tough ask on that occasion.
Like they had 3 people on top of him. Bonner split out wide, Porter wide.
So 2nd down and 6. The incompletion does stop the clock. 2 minutes, 51 seconds to go in the ball game. Tigers down by 10, but knocking on the door. Moore in motion. Levi Moore keeps it.
Oh, that's a great play. He's
looking for Jack Fleming, who's into the end zone for the touchdown.
Jack Fleming has come through today.
His 1st touchdown on the year. Keeps the Tigers in it.
Designed by Coach Snyder. He had everybody going the other way. Jack snuck in out of the backfield right there. Wide open.
Beautiful play design and executed perfectly by the Tiger offense as they stay in it. And with 2:45 to go, Ensworth is an extra point away from making it a 3-point game. The kick is up and good for Estefano. Sneaks in the right upright.
All right.
31-28. The Tigers with 14 unanswered as they stay alive and will attempt onside kick number 2, you'd have to think.
I'm not sure. I think he got 2 timeouts and maybe, I don't know. I think you kick it deep, let them go the length of the field, try to get the ball back. But maybe the onside kick will work in our favor again like it did last time. We didn't think that was the best game. It worked out in our favor. 28 push-ups by some student body. Tiger, who's that down there?
Can't quite tell yet.
Can't tell. He's giving effort. Is that I couldn't tell. Might have been Shoe. Might have been AJ Dale. I can't tell from up there. Regardless, we got to play right here.
We'll see what Estefanos can come up with here. They are going to try the onside kick again. As you've got 6 Tigers on the near side here. And they are going to be sprinting after this one as they'll try and get their hands onto it. Estefanos with 2 minutes and 45 seconds to go in the game.
Got a good
that ball's going to
bounce,
bounce up.
And
it's there. Still around. But it looks like Macaulay has it. And indeed they do.
Wow.
What an opportunity that was as it bounced.
Cooksey had it up in the air there, and it didn't come through.
What an opportunity. The first onside kick, the Tigers had a chance, but that one really felt like an opportunity for Ensworth.
Still okay here. 2 timeouts.
Got to force a stop.
Force their hand here, and let's see what we can do.
2 timeouts, like you said.
First and second down plays are going to be tough. You know, if we can get this thing a little under a minute, maybe about a minute.
Crowd certainly into this one, and that will help the Tigers defense. They're fired up. A huge set of downs coming now. Tario Price in the backfield. Tigers bringing the pressure. It is the run up the middle, and Price runs right up the middle, and he may go all the way, and he will. Can you believe it?
That's
where Macaulay has had success all night. They find it one more time, and they answer almost immediately. And they have sucked the life out of this Ensworth crowd. Still not completely over, though. The Ensworth offense will get right back onto the field with 2.5 minutes to go. And we're essentially where we were a few minutes ago, but now there's just less time on the clock. It will be Elliot Arnold to kick yet again. The kick is up and good, and so the score is 38-28 with 2 minutes and 33 seconds to go.
Gosh, how many yards does this guy have tonight?
Well, Tario Price coming into the game, he had 950, so certainly eclipsed that 1,000 mark tonight. He probably has 100, 150 yards.
Is he up for any kind of awards or anything?
Not totally sure, but tonight should certainly help his cause.
Gosh, right up the middle.
It is truly where Macaulay has had their success running the ball all night long. They've had success passing the ball, but when it comes to running the ball, it's been up the middle. That offensive line has just done a fantastic job of creating space. And Tario Price, not only on that occasion, but throughout the night, has taken full advantage. So we'll see where Alexander Jack puts this punt. An opportunity for a special teams player to make a big play for the Tigers with 2:33 to go in the fourth quarter. That is a line drive, and Caldwell is going to nervously let that one go into the end zone for a touchback. So the Tigers will have 80 yards to get into the end zone. So this is the Ensworth offensive lineup that's probably going to have to go the length of the way now. The Tigers aren't going to want to make substitutions. They just want to go quickly. Levi Moore having to escape the pressure and let it go. And somehow Drew Bonner makes the catch. He picks up 3, but the clock will continue to run as he couldn't get out of bounds.
Like they're wanting to spike it, maybe, but I'm not sure if they're trying to say hurry up or spike it.
Doesn't look like they're going to spike it here. It's just over 2 minutes to go. Levi Moore again having to escape the pocket. He does successfully, and he was looking for Sean Johnson, but that one hits the turf before Johnson makes the catch. And so 3rd down and 7, the clock stops with 2:04. Now if you're Ensworth, you just have to be worried about picking up the first down more than the clock at this point. Someone who the Tigers haven't targeted a whole lot tonight, Shamar Porter. We said his name a lot. He took one deep shot. It was overthrown. A couple other targets. Is this his opportunity now? Looking, Sean Johnson wide open over the middle. And it's a short throw, and they couldn't get it to him. He had the whole of the middle of the field to work with. Levi Moore just couldn't get it there.
4th down.
And all of a sudden, this becomes now or never for the Tigers. So 4th down and 7 now. Ensworth's season on the line. Who do the Tigers trust to put the ball?
Let's see if he's going across the middle.
They're going to take a shot for Zayden Moore. The deep ball makes the catch.
What a
and
throw,
gets out of bounds.
What a catch.
A perfect over-the-shoulder throw.
Unreal.
And a great catch by Zayden Moore.
Great play.
And the Tigers
double
stay alive yet again. What a throw right on the money.
Man. Money.
And he got out of bounds. The clock will stop. The Tigers can take a breather here if they want, but they're already back up to the line, and they will slow things down here a little bit.
Heck of a play right there.
Levi Moore looking to follow it up. Pressure coming from the back. And they may have to use one of their 2 timeouts. And indeed they will. So the clock will stop with 1:37 to go. Ensworth will be left with 1 timeout with 97 seconds to go. See here, Levi Moore takes the snap. He's hasn't had to deal with a whole lot of pressure. He's been able to escape the pocket when it's come, but that time it came from its back. And then when he stepped up in the pocket, the pressure came right at him. So he was unable to escape on that occasion. And it'll be 2nd down and 13 after the sack and after the timeout. So Mason Curtis comes into the game at wide receiver. We saw it a little bit in the first half. He's back in there now as just a tall, deep threat.
Need to try to work these sidelines. Try to get out of bounds so we can stop the clock. It needs to become our friend here.
So 2nd down and 13 for Ensworth. Levi Moore looking towards Drew Bonner, and that one out of bounds as it was behind the intended receiver. And 3rd down and 13. 1:33 left. So 2 plays to pick up 13 yards for the Tigers, or else this game is over. Levi Moore looking over the middle for Zayden Moore. Just overthrew his man. And here we are again. 1 play to keep the Tiger season alive. They've done it every time they've had to do it so far. But this is going to be the most difficult one yet.
Maybe hoping for a penalty.
You throw one up deep.
See what we can get.
Well, when it was 4th down last time, they put the ball in the hands of Zayden Moore.
Bonner's stacked right there in a little wing position. He might be flaring down the stretch.
Levi Moore looking that way, a pump fake, and then they're looking for the wheel route of Martez Cooksey. It's intercepted. Another interception for Ollie Carter, and that will surely put this one away. With a minute 21 to go, Ensworth only has one timeout. And Macaulay should be able to hang on to this one. A tough victory on the road. But they will be on the road yet again when they hang on to this one, as NBA is up 33-14. And so it looks like Macaulay will get their revenge against NBA next week. NBA, of course, one of the two teams that beat this Macaulay football team 23-20 in Chattanooga. But again, Macaulay will get the revenge this time in the playoffs, where it means more. As the winner of that
should just be 4 victory formations here.
They'll have to do it. We'll see if Ensworth uses a timeout. It doesn't look like they're going to. So Macaulay will have to do it one more time before they can start looking forward to next week's game at NBA. But for Ensworth, it's really been an identical season to last year. Their 3 losses come to the same teams against Baylor, NBA in the regular season, and then they get that first round bye and they lose again with their first playoff game in the second round. And with such a strong senior class, it's unfortunate for the Tigers for their season to end the way it did. But Macaulay, over the course of this game, just made the big plays happen when they needed to. So this knee will be the final play of the game. And Macaulay now will look forward to next week, where they will be looking for revenge against the NBA Big Red for the Tigers. It's the end of the road.
Right to left, the Wildcats.
Finishes the season.
Ashton Jones has had some cramping issues tonight, but he is in at tailback. Rushing for almost 2,000 yards this season, except for one long run. He's been kept in check tonight. Wideouts left and right, I formation on 1st and goal from the 10. Carey under center, will hand to Jones, and he is dropped for a loss. Back to the 13. Penetration once again. Reed Powers, the senior, makes the stop and a loss all the way back to the 13-yard line. 2nd and goal for DCA.
Well, they were sitting right on Jones that time. They knew they had shot those gaps, a zone blitz that time. They knew Jones was getting it.
14-7. Friendship Christian with the lead. Offset eye, and now timeout, I believe, is taken by DCA. So they're going to use the timeout here. You don't need to take them back home with you. And certainly sensing the importance of this particular play. Again, it's score or it's over.
Well, coming up after the game, we'll be talking to the winning coach, and we will be naming the Omni Nashville Hotel Player of the Game.
I have to admit, Greg, I did not know what kind of game to expect tonight. This was 43-8 in the regular season meeting. I did not expect it was going to be that one-sided, but I wasn't really expecting this kind of defensive battle.
Well, also on each side, the youth of Donaldson Christian, certainly in week 3, you're playing one of the better 1A teams in the state in Division 2, and you see the maturity of this young class. Certainly the sophomore quarterback, Kerry Mitchell, had not played hardly any last year with Bradford Gaines, the star quarterback, leading them into the state championship.
2nd and goal for DCA from the 13-yard line after the loss of 3. Offset eye. Jones is like 9 yards behind the line of scrimmage at tailback. Carey under center, play action fake. Rush is coming. They set up the screen and it's broken up. Garrett Weekly read it beautifully and broke up the screen opportunity. 3rd and goal.
Making plays on both sides of the ball, Garrett Weekly.
So 3rd and goal from the 13 for DCA, and they are out of timeouts. There is a play clock that runs. Game clock does not. Play clock is at 20. 2 wideouts split right. Shotgun formation, rare for DCA tonight. Carey in the gun, takes the snap, rolling to his right, looking downfield, being chased, fires to the end zone, and it's broken up and incomplete.
And Garrett Weekly on the play.
Weekly was there along with his teammate Eakes. And now it comes down to 4th and goal for DCA from the 13. So what do you dial up here for the Wildcats?
Well, you just saw that they had to roll the pocket because you know they're coming with the pressure. You think plays, you think playmakers. I got to have Aston Jones touching the ball somehow, some way.
4th and goal from the 13 to keep this game going. Man in motion right to left. Carry, play action, fake. Looks to the far corner of the end zone. It is caught! It is caught for a touchdown!
Wow.
Booker with the reception in the right front corner of the end zone. It got right over the defender's hands, and we are an extra point away from double overtime.
Sophomore to sophomore making their play of the year thus far.
So now it falls to the extra point opportunity here for DCA. Braden Ducharme to send us to a second overtime. Snap is high, and the kick is blocked. The kick is blocked, and that's going to do it. Friendship Christian advances as they block the extra point. Friendship Christian 14, Donaldson Christian 13 in overtime. And there's a dog pile at the middle of the field as Friendship Christian celebrates.
Paul Wade is out talking to this refereeing crew, and I think he has a case. The person who blocked leaped over the defensive line. Several commanders did that, but the one who blocked the kick leaped over the defensive line. Now, on the collegiate level, you can do it, but if you're touched, it's a penalty.
Right.
He came clean on that block.
And there's no discussion. The officials are leaving the field. And being raised up to the top of that pile in the middle of the field, I believe, is Chase Eakes, who I'm guessing is the guy that got that block. What an emotional contest between these two. And Friendship Christian advances with a 14-13 victory over DCA. Stay with us. We'll come back with more on WNSR, Nashville Sports Radio.
Wow.
Wow, what an ending over at Friendship Christian as them and DCA come down to the wire. A blocked extra point gets Friendship Christian the win and moves them on to the next round of the playoffs. Such a terrible way for DCA to end. I mean, just after moments after getting the game, which you thought was going to be the game-tying score, just to have your season end like that, that's brutal, Billy.
That's really brutal. That's the worst way to lose a game.
Absolutely.
Right there. That's awful.
Just we got about 25 minutes left with you guys tonight on this November 11th Veterans Day edition of Friday Night Live. Before we cut to a break, though, we want to get you a scoreboard update. We haven't gotten you a scoreboard update in a while. So, of course, our thanks go over to Coach T for their assistance in our scoreboard update tonight that is powered by Donnelly Timmons Custom Home Builders. For all your home building needs, check out DonnellyTimmons.com. Billy, are you ready for this scoreboard update?
I'm ready to roll.
All right, starting in Region 1, Division 1, Gatlinburg-Pittman takes down Chucky Doak 47-34. It's Oliver Springs 35, Cloudland 12. Daniel Boone gets the 30-7 win over Knox Central. It's Greenville 58, Gibbs 28. Hampton falls to Monterey 40-16. It's Science Hill 40, Farragut 19.
Moving on to Division 1, Region 2, Alcoa beats Pigeon Forge 42-20. Anderson County over Elizabethton 30-24. Coalfield over Unica 55-12. Maryville over Bearden 28-10. West over Morristown West 68-14. And York Institute over South Green 27-0.
And it looks like we are going to get that Anderson County Greenville matchup in the quarterfinals that Vandy Chris was talking about for the last couple of weeks. Anderson County 12-0, Greenville 12-0. feel like all eyes in the state may be on that one next week. Moving over to Division I, Region 3, Blackman goes and defeats Coffee County 35-31. Blackman going to get Oakland next week as they were big winners over Lebanon. We'll get you that score a little bit later. East Hamilton barely edges by Upperman 43-42. East Hamilton 9-3 on the season. Powell takes care of Walker Valley 48-0. It's Gordonsville 14, South Pittsburgh 7. Sweetwater gets their 10th win of the season 55. McMinn Central 21. Tyner Academy handles Westmoreland 42-17.
Clay County beats Whitwell 46-6. East Robertson over Bledsoe County 38-14. Giles County over Loudon 21-0. Oak Ridge over McMinn County barely 13-12. Late in the fourth quarter, Oakland all over Lebanon 41-7. And Red Bank over Stone Memorial 21-6.
Moving over to Division I, Region 5, Beach edges out Smyrna in the Class 6A second round 24-21. Fayetteville handles Dresden 42-10 with 3 minutes left to go in the fourth quarter. Mount Juliet and Page are battling in the fourth quarter. Page leads 42-39 at the moment. Decatur County Riverside takes care of Mount Pleasant in the Class 2A second round 18-13. Pearl Cone all over Hardin County 34-14. And it's Smith County 28, Fairview 6.
Moving on to Region 6, Cane Ridge all over Clarksville 42-6. Lewis County over Adamsville 35-7. Lexington over Marshall County 21-14. McKenzie over Moore County 56-21. Nolensville leads White County late in the fourth quarter 49-36. And East Nashville defeats Waverly 40-34.
That White County Nolensville game has been a good one. Tyler Palmatier reporting live from that game saying neither team has punted the football tonight, Billy.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, so zero work for the punters. Moving over to Division I, Region 7 in the Class 3A playoffs, Covington takes care of Millington 42-0. Staying in the Class 3A playoffs, it's Dyersburg 29, Ripley High School 7. 4A playoffs, Haywood defeats South Gibson 47-14. In the 5A playoffs, it's Henry County 42, Portland 7. In the 4A playoffs, Milan leads Obion County 38-28. In the 1A playoffs, Peabody gets the 42-18 win over Booker T. Washington. And in the 2A playoffs, Union City beats Westview 10-6.
In Region 8, Bartlett beats Brentwood 28-7. Huntington over Fairleigh 48-6. Germantown over Houston 24-14. Mace over Lake County 42-12. And Springfield over Munford 38-13.
In Division II, East Middle on the big side, 3A on the state quarterfinal side, you've got Baylor taking down MUS 42-16, as well as MBA taking down Christian Brothers 33-14.
Chattanooga Christian over FRA 36-21. Friendship Christian barely edges out DCA 14-13. Just heard that one. Knoxville Webb over Davidson Academy 49-24.
Division II double A Nashville. Well, this is single A, also has a double A score, but Division II single A Nashville Christian defeats Trinity Christian 42-7. In double A action, Lipscomb Academy, Trent Dilfer doing everything he can to help that public persona, that public opinion of him, as he helps defeat Silverdale Academy 77-13 in the second round of the D2 AA state quarterfinal playoffs.
Moving over to the West region as we wrap this baby up. Brentwood Academy shuts out Pope Prep 31-0 so far. They're late in that one. McCallie defeats Ensworth 38-28. Jackson Christian barely beats MTCS 27-25. CPA over Lausanne 21-13. And USJ defeats Lakeway Christian 48-6.
And that is your scoreboard update, a long scoreboard update for all the way from Region 1 all the way to Region 8, Division 1, Division 2, and everywhere in between. We're going to take a quick break, but when we do, we're going to look at some winners for tonight. We're also going to look at some playoff matchups for next week. So don't go anywhere. This is Friday Night Live, powered by Main Street Media Television.
So, I got a DUI. Mom, Dad.
Why didn't you just call someone for a ride?
I wasn't thinking ahead. I didn't think I was gonna get caught. Yeah, my best friend Tim.
Still coming to my bachelor party next month?
This DUI cost me 10 grand. So, no. Yeah, you, in the back.
Did you know I almost died when you hit me?
I didn't think this would affect so many people.
You think it was worth it?
No more questions.
It's just a few cocktails at happy hour.
It was just a few cocktails at happy hour.
You really good try.
There aren't any cops around.
I didn't think there were any cops around.
I drink and drive all the time.
Sir, you've been in a serious crash. I need you to hang on, okay? Rub your hands, sir. You are right now?
For Dustin Timmons and Joey Donnelly, they welcome every opportunity to serve and satisfy their clients. Whether you are looking to build your dream home or renovate your current home, their team will ensure that every client and remodel is unique, luxurious, completed on time, and within budget. Contact them today to set an appointment for a free consultation or to view some of their completed projects by logging on to DonnellyTimmons.com.
Jody Jones Dentistry can handle all your dental needs, from the basics to cosmetic procedures. All of this in the nicest dental facility I have ever seen. Jody has done it right. They're located conveniently at 55 Music Square East, and for an appointment, it's simple. Dial 615-259-5100 and tell them Plaz sent you. When you're thinking about golf, consider Riverside Golf Links. Under new ownership, the course has improved dramatically. It's now 27 holes, complemented by a 9-hole executive course. Book a tee time now at 615-847-5074 and get ready to enjoy the beauty of golf in the Old Hickory area at Riverside Golf Links.
I'm Bart Durham.
I was sworn in as a lawyer in 1963, and I've been working as a lawyer since then.
We're a firm that does exclusively personal injury, a lot of tractor-trailer crashes. Insurance companies will open up their checkbooks when you force them to.
We have systems that work.
We get the most money for our clients in the shortest amount of time.
I'm Blair Durham. My dad and I want to help. Give us a call at 615-242-9000.
At Miss Lucille's, we go for apple pie. A place that feels like a home away from home. A comfortable place to bring your family from out of town. It's a place where great conversations are had. It's a place where you can shop 200 small businesses in one location. It's a place for you to shop for gifts for any occasion or just to treat yourself. Come on down to Miss Lucille's. You'll be glad you did.
The West Group at Southwest Funding has a combined 29 plus years of experience in the local mortgage market. It's our top priority to make sure the client is well informed and has a transparent loan process. Our focus is to make your journey to home ownership as seamless as possible. Once you close with the West Group, you are family for life. To become part of the happy West Group family of clients, call 931-266-0013 or visit us at thewestgroupswf.com.
And we are back Friday Night Live on this November 11th edition. Happy Veterans Day out there to all who have served, all who will serve our country. We want to say thank you for the sacrifice and commitment you have given us. This country allowed us to do things like this, sit and kind of just, spill our guts, talk about whatever we want to talk about for 4 or 5 hours a night. So really want to thank you guys in the United States military. Happy Veterans Day to you. Okay, Billy, 14 minutes left in the hour before this one is done. A lot of finals have taken place tonight all across the mid-state. Is there any that have stood out to you as maybe surprising?
Yeah, kind of looking around. I mean, I look at that Cane Ridge, not the fact that they won, just by how much they were able to dominate that game. So, and coming into the game, I mean, we talked to Brady, and we basically convinced ourselves that Clarksville had a shot, and they felt good about it. But Cane Ridge ended up dominating that game from start to finish. Another one, this final did surprise me. Not the score, but just the fact that East Nashville won. They went out to Waverly and won that game 40-6, or 40-34 rather. So Region 6, I mean, there were a few surprises. Surprised by the amount of points that White County has given up against Nolensville. That one's going down the wire. Looks like Nolensville should pull away with the win.
I think they're up 20 now, maybe 56-36 was maybe the last thing I saw.
Just no defense from White County at all. Not much from Nolensville either.
Yeah, I think Tyler said not a single punt had taken place in that game.
Yeah, so that's crazy. I think Decatur County Riverside beating Mount Pleasant was a little bit of a surprise. Page beating Mount Juliet.
That looked like it was a really good game. 42-39.
Yep. Yeah, it looked like a classic. Wasn't really surprised. I mean, like I said, that was one of the games where I looked at and told myself that, I wouldn't be surprised with either team winning it.
Sure.
That was one of them. So yeah, I mean, kind of looking around, those are the ones that really, I think, stood out to me. Baylor didn't surprise me. Their dominance, NBA's dominance. So we expect to see them meet each other down the road. And then, good win by McCallie. Innsworth fought in that game. That was close really all throughout in that one. So there was a good bit of surprises out there, at least from my perspective. But at the end of the day, I think you are seeing, teams that did dominate, NBA being able to dominate, like I said, Baylor, McCallie, and BA all move on. So you will get BA and Baylor, and then McCallie and NBA, I think, are going to be facing off, if I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty sure that's what the bracket looks like. So
yes,
So not totally surprised in Division II in that AAA in the Middle and West, but a little surprised by Region 6 and some of those results.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you said, McCallie, Baylor. And McCallie, NBA, and Baylor, Brentwood Academy. I guess Brentwood Academy is the home team. McCallie might be the home team. They got them on the bottom side of the bracket, but on TWSWA Sports for the Division II 3A, they don't list home or away like they do the other classifications. So I'm not really sure. You would think NBA would be at home since they are undefeated. You would think Baylor would be at home, but I guess you just never know.
Yeah, NBA was the 1 seed in the East. McCallie was the 3 seed in the East. So NBA will be at home in that one. And then Brentwood Academy will play Baylor. That game will be at Brentwood Academy. So I think you could see at Finley Stadium in Chattanooga, maybe BA and NBA. But I'm interested, man. I mean, I think NBA has the edge over McCallie.
Yeah.
Baylor and BA, that's going to be a battle.
It's going to be a battle.
That's going to be a battle, man. So, really, really intrigued to see what happens there.
You and me both. I love all the games that you pointed out. I want to add a couple others. Chattanooga Christian beating Franklin Road Academy. It just came out earlier this week that Chattanooga Christian had lost 5-star running back Boo Carter to transfer. So, I don't know a lot about Chattanooga Christian, but you figure a small Christian school like that losing a high-profile player like a Boo Carter, it's going to hurt them. Well, it didn't, and they wanted to show that they're more than just Boo Carter, and they did that tonight by taking down a pretty good Franklin Road Academy team in Justin Geisinger's first year. The fact that Brentwood Academy defeated Pope Prep the way that they did, I know Kenny Minchie was in and out of that football game, but I just did not see it ending up being 38-7, which was the final, but I think it was 38-0 really much of that game. Cane Ridge beating, like you said, Cane Ridge beating Clarksville 42-6. That's a little bit of a shocker to me. Beach beating Smyrna 24-21. Beach was up 10-0, and then that became a really good football game. Oakland scoring 41 unanswered on Lebanon is huge as well. East Robertson getting their program's first ever second-round victory, moving on to the quarterfinals for the first time in school history. So there was a lot of really good stuff out there tonight that was just good to see. Really good high school football.
Yeah.
And,
And I hate to butt in here, Zach, but we do have a live report.
Awesome. Who do we got?
Coming here from Ivan Aronin. As we wait on Ivan, I just had him, but I recently just lost him. So I'm trying to get him right back here. Once again, Ivan was at Page and Mount Juliet.
Hello, this is Ivan.
Ivan, you there?
Yeah, what do you got?
Awesome. How did Page and Mount Juliet end up? It looked like a crazy game.
Well, I've been living in Nashville for a number of years, and I have learned to trust that when George Plaster says it's going to be a tremendous game, he is usually right, and that's exactly what we had here out at Mount Juliet. There were two. The way Page ended up with it, they scored on a run with about 5.5 minutes left to go in the game, and then kind of held on to the end for Mount Juliet coming back. We had two kind of crazy sequences that turned the game. Page was down 7-3. I'm sorry, 10-7 late in the first half, under a minute to go. They blocked a punt. They got a long pass and then scored. And then the first play after the kickoff, they sacked the quarterback, caused a fumble, scooped up the fumble, and ran in for a touchdown. So they went from down 10-7 to up 21-10 at halftime in about 45 seconds. And that kind of put Mount Juliet back on heels a little bit. They did some adjustments at halftime, especially on defense. But they were still reeling a little bit. They came out first possession of the second half. Mount Juliet forced a punt. Dearius Morton blocked the punt, and Dion Waller scooped it up and scored a touchdown. That's the fourth consecutive game that Morton has blocked a kick of some kind. So he has done that quite frequently. In fact, on the next possession, he blocked the punt again, but this time he recovered it himself for a touchdown that gave Mount Juliet a 24-21 lead at that point. From there, Page just kept the ball. Their offense got moving on the ground. Their offensive line took control of the game. Mount Juliet had just one first down in the entire third quarter. And Page just kept running the ball and scored just enough to stay ahead.
Sounds like a really good game, Ivan. I want to transition to another one for you, just because I'm curious. Friendship Christian ekes out a 14-13 win in overtime. I don't know if you heard, but they blocked the potential game-tying extra point from DCA in overtime. Ivan, they move on to the semifinals against USJ. My question is this, Ivan. The first time these two teams met, Friendship and DCA, I think it was 48-6 in favor of Friendship Christian. They get a bye week in the first round last week while DCA handles Fayette Academy, and then obviously tonight transpires the way it did. My question for you is, do you think that bye week hurt Friendship Christian, or was this more of a DCA didn't want to get embarrassed again type of thing?
I think it was more of what it sounds like to me is Friendship got a little, we beat them bad last time, we're going to beat them bad again this week.
Sure.
And came in with a little bit of overconfidence, which would be unusual for a John McNeil team, but I could see that happening very easily.
Well, let me ask you. So I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, and I think being undefeated and looking ahead to some goals that are ahead of them now, I think that probably played into it also a little bit.
So on the flip side of that, Ivan, they get to welcome in USJ to their home next Friday. USJ is kind of rolling through everybody. They're the West C's #1. They defeated Lakeway Christian with ease. Do you think tonight? I know you weren't there, but maybe you get a chance to talk with Coach McNeil. Do you think this could be an opportunity they use this to get better for USJ?
I don't know necessarily about get better. I think they will certainly have a different mental approach to the game than they did tonight. I think Coach McNeil has been there certainly long enough and has enough playoff experience to make sure that whatever mindset they were in tonight, for whatever reason, will not happen again next week.
Very good. Well, Ivan, we really appreciate you calling in, man, and giving us this update. It sounded like Page Mount Juliet was a great football game. You've still got Friendship Christian in the playoffs next week. I hope I'm not leaving anybody out, but hey, best of luck to all the Wilson County teams moving forward.
Yeah, we'll see what we got and talk to you next weekend.
Thanks, Ivan. That was Ivan Aronin, Wilson County reporter, editor extraordinaire, reporting from Mount Juliet High School, where they fall to Page High School in the Class 5A playoffs. Billy, real quick, going to run down the playoffs for what we got left. I'm going to pick a couple winners. I think in 6A, it's going to come down to Oakland and Maryville. They'll play in the semifinals, and I think whoever gets through that ends up winning the Class 6A football playoffs. Although I think Oakland and Blackman next week should be very, very good. It's a battle of two Murfreesboro schools. In the 5A side, I don't know how you can't go with anybody not named Nolensville. I mean, their offense looks so explosive, especially tonight. But Henry County Springfield is going to be a good one as well. Nolensville Page, that's going to be a good one, Billy. We've got a lot of really good matchups, but anxious to see how they play out.
I can't wait. Nolensville and Page, that's one I'm already excited for. And in Division II AAA, you've got some fun matchups as well, NBA and McCallie. And then you've also got on that other side, BA and Baylor. So, man, this is where it really, really starts to heat up. And I love high school football this time of year, man.
Amen. And shout out to the Metro schools, Pearl Cone, East Nashville, Cane Ridge. You guys are moving on to the next round of the playoffs. 3 teams from Metro Nashville Public Schools. That is awesome. That is so awesome, Billy. I told you at the beginning of this year, one of the things I was most looking forward to was the progress by Metro Nashville, especially coming out of the COVID 2020 year. Last year was their first full year back. This is their second full year, and they are showing at full strength. They're legit. Are exactly. They're legit. They're a force to be reckoned with. Absolutely good for them, Billy. Yeah. So with that, I'm gonna end this week's show with that. Congratulations to the Metro Nashville Public Schools for moving on to the quarterfinal rounds. He's Billy Derrick. I'm Zach Womble. This has been Friday Night Live, powered by Main Street Media Television.